won't be quiet, it won't be safe, and it won't be calm.
Run up and down lots of corridors!
That was the one!
It's turned off to the right, Brigadier.
Locking phasers on target.
They're locking phasers. Ray shields.
Fire!
But I tell you what it will be. I tell you what it will be. The trip of a lifetime.
Yes, indeed, ladies and gentlemen. Good morning. Thank you for joining me on this lovely Tuesday. It's been a long time since I've been online, and oh boy, do we have a lot to talk about. A lot going on in my life, a lot going on in the world. We've got to talk about the Russell Brand thing. That's just mushroom clouded into hugeness, right? Into hugeness over the last few days, right? I got a whole bunch here. Let me look at this stack of stuff I have to go over. 1 second. It's we've got Trump NBC interview. That's hilarious. Just lots of weirdness, right? Lots of weirdness. But I know the Russell Brand thing is something I definitely don't want to talk about. But we are in a new well, sort of. We're in a whole new world, baby. And it seems quite as awful as the one we were before. It's been the new Jewish New Year, so reality is in the process of rebooting. And oh boy, am I not happy with how the way last year turned out? Right? I mean, I was pretty. I mean, yeah, I've said it many times. I was like, this has to be it, right? This has to be the end of days. This has to be the coming of the Messianic age. Now, I gave myself many outs. I mean, look, the thing I was clinging on to was it was supposed to be the year after this thing called a sabbatical year, a Shemitah year is called. And listen, we may be counting wrong. It might not just be that model. You know, look, one of the biggest things that I keep telling myself is this, right? It's and I was telling myself this as well. Is look, I believe in the Bible. I think the Bible is real, right? I think it is the stuff in it is there to teach you stuff. So there's a bit in it where Moses goes up to Mount Sinai, right, to get the Torah, the Old Testament, right? Goes up there, and then he's not back on the day that people calculated he would be back on. And so it was within a few hours later they're having like a massive orgy, and yeah, they cut that bit out, the PG-13 bit. Yeah, look, basically any bit of idolatry is really for the sex, right? There's lots and lots of sex involved. So they're having this massive orgy, and they built a giant golden calf, right? And this is the same people who were a couple of months earlier. I mean, no, a few days, like 30, 40 days ago, literally experienced God, right? So what the hell's going on with that? Well, it was a screw up, right? It was they thought when Moses hadn't returned, it was this new way of relating to God through prayer. It was not working out, and so they had to go through some kind of idolatry. The reason they picked a calf, there's a whole bunch of stuff I can go into, right? But the thing is this: you expect things to go on the schedule that you want it to go on. And when it doesn't, right, you go, oh no, right? Oh no, that's not good. But there's a part of me that feels like I'm reminded of this episode of Seinfeld, right? How much more Jewy can we get? A rabbi talking about an episode of Seinfeld. I'm reminded of this episode of Seinfeld where I can't remember what happened. He's in hospital for some reason, and there's a fitness guy, like an older fitness guy in there, like Jack LaLanne type person, who says, "I'll move this TV." Right, this is back in the 90s when he had the big box TV, and tries to move it, and he goes, his back goes out, so he's lying in a hospital bed, and his father comes in and sees him right in bed. So what happens? And I tried to move the TV. I couldn't move the TV, and I said, "What, that TV?" And Seinfeld's like, "No, don't try and move it. Don't try and move it." And the guy tries to move it, and his back goes out. So the two of them are lying in bed, right? Mandelbaum. That was what Mandelbaum. So I hope you see the episode. It's on Netflix. I love Seinfeld, right? So then the grandfather comes in, and exactly the same thing happens. And they're like, Well, why didn't you say anything when he tried to pick it up? So, well, I thought he could do it, right? So that's how I kind of feel. Like, listen, we live in crazy, crazy times, like crazy, insane times. I don't know how long this insanity can last. I mean, from my perspective, we seem to be way worse than the generation of the flood, which is when God brought a flood, right, to destroy the world, basically because we had way too much perviness in the world. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen, but man, I am feeling gears change and like a differing energy come in, but I just can't tell what it is, right? I can't put my finger on it at all. But yeah, I'll give you some examples from my life, right? So I've been on this crazy diet for like 3.5 months, like crazy diet, and it's been pretty darn good. It's been pretty darn successful. But it's basically just vegetables, right? It's a plant-based nutrition. But I hadn't been having any protein. I really hadn't been eating healthily, right? Because a balanced diet, and I that's why I think I kept getting sick. So I got sick about a month ago, all right, and then it got like way worse. So yeah, this diet was working well, but I had this like ring of like weird fat, like right at the bottom of my I don't know, not say belly, like abdomen. Right, and it was just getting harder and weirder. Right, normally a good thing. No, not in my. And it got infected. Right, when I got sick. Right, and so it got infected, and I've been in like not a good place for like physically for the past month. I haven't been able to walk the dog. And so for example, I've been hardly been able to move, and it was uncomfortable on the as I started the Jewish New Year. Like the first day, it was hurting and uncomfortable again. I was like, oh man, really? Not only do we not have a Messianic age, we still have the same shit I'm living through. Really, and it was weird because I do pray very, very intensely on the Jewish New Year. I like the prayer service a lot, right? I like because I've learned it and I know it very, very intricately. It's basically it's a meditation on the Messianic age, and it sounds pretty darn groovy. It's a place that I would like to live at. You know why I would like to live in the Messianic age? Because everybody's happy. You know why everybody's happier? Because I think people see. How can I explain this? Okay, let's take it back. What does God want in my worldview? I think God wants us to be happy, and if we don't be arseholes, if we're not selfish, and we just do the shit that God says, basically, loyalty, fidelity, honesty, and we do it well, we're much happier. So a great example of that, right, of how we could all be much happier. Me, my personal life, and politically in Israel, is if the Arabs just decided to stop wanting to kill us, right? If the Arabs decided, oh, let's kill all the Jews, is a bad idea, right? Look at the Arabs who live in Gaza. We call it Gaza. They would live in luxury, right? They also it's a beautiful beachfront property. It should be like a Riviera, and nobody does hospitality like Arabs, right? There's a thing, hospitality of Arabs. It's famous. Nobody does hospitality like Arabs. It would be incredible, and like all we got to do is not try and kill each other, right? Just like live and let live with each other. And it seems so freaking dumb and simple, right? But if we just decide to do it, and look, I hate to tell you, the conflict is completely one-sided. Yes, Israel has complete military superiority, like 100%. We could wipe out Gaza in a night, probably in one bomb, right? Very easily, right? Very, very easily. But we don't, right? We don't, and it's not for fear of the world. It's because I think it's wrong, right? I spoke to my older son about it. He was an officer, and he says, "Yeah, no, I think that would just be wrong," right? Which I was very happy to, hear about his ethics. But there's so many things like that. If we just weren't assholes, we could be way happier. Like basically, what happened in my local community. I used to live in like the most idyllic place possible. I freaking loved living here. Right, and I loved living here because it was like, especially my synagogue was a place where all the different disparate types of Jews could feel happy and accepted, and nobody looked down their nose at each other, or at least nobody had any power to look down their nose at each other. And I kind of realized the reason this we had this, and I really will call it a paradise, right, is because we had this guy called Benny who was a community leader, and he basically very much had his foot in the more religiously type part of the world, and also shall we say, the less ritualistically observant Jews, right? He was basically had that foot there, and you have like the arsehole Jews in our community who look down their nose, right? Look down their nose, and they hate people who are less ritualistic observant. Not that their ritualistic observance is done with any sincerity, as I saw firsthand. So these arsehole Jews, they clamored around this ex-rabbi that we had, who was awful, right? Who just again couldn't give a damn about what God wanted as represented in the Old Testament. Just could not give a damn about it, right? And flagrantly violated, our most central and sacred laws, right? And the more ritualistically observant older cuckers, right? They loved him. They freaking loved him because I think he legitimized their looking down their nose at the dislike for the unlike, right? And it basically destroyed our community, right? It destroyed this idyllic place we lived in. But like the normies took over. Unfortunately, this guy Benny passed away, right? Which was a big linchpin at the same time. So once the normies just looked on in silence, right? Stupefied as flies fell off their idiots' faces, as literally our community was being burnt to the ground, right? And they just kept quiet, right? Well, he's a rabbi, they said moronically. I was like screaming, yes, but he's violating our most central precepts and he's burning our community to the ground. Then I go, Tzvi, you're such a joker. No, he's going to destroy our fucking home, which he did. Everything I said came to pass. Like every freaking thing I said came to pass and a lot more, right? But the upshot of it was the less ritualistically observant part of our community were ostracized, right? That's really the upshot of it. And, once you ostracize even a small group, it all falls apart, right? So now I look at my local synagogue and it's kind of like it's withering. It's what it is. Now it's just like a normal little religious synagogue for normal, very little religious Jews. They're very little people, right? Which is nice enough, but, we used to have something so much better, right? We used to have something so much better. And it's... it's just a shadow of what it was. And why? Because nobody wanted to do what God thought would be better. That's basically it. God just wants you to be happy, right? That's really the bottom line. So, really, that's what we're doing. But that's what I mean about a Messianic age, where if one can see God as a reality, which we can't in this world, which is freaking hidden, right? And feel God's presence. I mean, Christians really do it much better than Jews. Christians really genuinely feel God's presence through their connection to Jesus, right? I really see that. I really see that with Christians. And we all know Christians who are like, very real about that. Could you imagine if we all had the same thing going towards us with the same worldview? Right. And we screw up. We do things that are self-destructive. Right. But, again, I just thought there'll be such an incredible revelation of God's presence. Right. Before Friday. No. No. And we would all just not be arseholes. Right. And the world would be a much better place. Wouldn't that be great? No. So listen, I hope for it every day. I still hope for it every day. Hope for it today. Hope for it tomorrow. Right. Hope for it next week. But was not to be. Sadly, I think we are not good. Anyway, so we start off a Jewish New Year. I'm in pain. I'm like, well, that's got to be a starter. I guess things are going to carry on as they started off. And it was weird because I pray very intently with this. And it's a very intricate prayer that if you know it, but most people don't. They just flap their lips and try and get through it as fast as humanly possible, which is understandable. It's very long, right? It's very, very, very long. But it was the first time when I was praying, but without like without any hope that I thought it would that it would come to pass in my lifetime. I felt more like my prayer was kind of like a grain of sand on top of every other prayer, right? And hopefully sometime at some point in the future, things would start to break through. So then that night, right, we on Rosh Hashanah night, on the Jewish New Year night, we have beef Wellington. That's our go-to thing. Beef Wellington, Yorkshire puds, roast potatoes, peas, all the trends. My week's awesome mushrooms. So I decided that I was going to have some of the roast from the beef Wellington. I wasn't going to have the pastry around it because that's like freaking kryptonite to me. That my body doesn't react well to that. So I had some roast, right? And my body kind of like absorbed it. Like it was like I don't know. I'm trying to think of like the only analogy I can think of is Luther Arkwright, which I've been thinking of quite a lot recently because Big Finish put out their second volume of it, which I quite like. So there's a thing he does in it, right, where he grabs onto somebody, right, and the people have the power to do that, and they suck out all their psionic life force, right, turning them into like this desiccated husk of just dust, and it just falls apart. That's what it was like absorbing the meat. So the next day, I started getting better. Like I started getting better, but I really needed that protein apparently, right? And I kind of just got it. I needed protein, right? I needed protein. I've been like completely got better from being sick for a month, on the second day, which I'm really quite happy. First time in a month, I was able to walk the dog today. So the other thing from Rosh Hashanah, and like Rosh Hashanah, Jewish New Year, is the day of judgment, right? On the Jewish New Year, you are judged for life, like if you're going to live or die, who is going to live, who is going to die. And then that's basically written in the book. You're written in the book of death or the book of life, and then 10 days later, on the Day of Atonement, that book gets sealed, right? But yeah. So then was it last night? Notice Ninja, right? Our little blind cat that we rescued a couple of years ago had a nosebleed. I was like, what the hell's up with that, right? So it was good. And my daughter was out. She was out with a friend. And I thought it was good for her to be, be social. So I didn't call her. But I told her when she got back that she had to know. And I thought it was like some kind of nasal infection or a cold or something. So she took him to the vet today. The thing's got about 70% chance to survive. It had some kind of like instant liver failure? Some kind of no, it was caused was a liver failure, and where he's going to live or die, I don't know. I think he's probably going to be put down. But man, you see that judgment happen straight away, right? Straight away. So I'm sad. I am sad for Ninja, right? Because I like that little cat. I mean, it's a pain in the ass, right? And okay. Let me see if we can find any old pictures of 1 second. We go to. Let's go over here. There should be plenty. Oh, come on, really? I gotta look it on my phone. Pain in the ass. Really? That's just annoying. Okay, I'm looking at it. Use WhatsApp on your phone to see older mess. Really? That's ridiculous. Hang on. Leave this to me. Let me find a couple of pictures. Come on, we got this. So annoying, really. Oh, this is old. So I'm always racked with guilt about Ninja because, like, he's a blind cat and he decided that he wanted to live with us, right? But I tried to like convince him. Like, well, first time I saw him hang around, I sprinkled some water in his direction, hoping he'll get the idea and just leave, right? Is that him? Hang on. I just finding pictures of my dog. Where's Ninja? Come on. Here we go. Like, here we go. Can I share this? Oh yeah, share. But he's a blind cat, so he's got like these. So that's why we called him Ninja. Yeah, I wanted to call him Daredevil, but my daughter didn't go for it. Hang on, but that's not a great picture. I'm sure we got some more. Oh, here's a good one. Oh, it's an okay one. So yeah, look, and he's been more of a pain in the ass of late. Like whenever we open the fridge, he just goes straight for it. Like and like every Sabbath morning, we have like a little it's called kiddush, like a little meal in the morning. And my wife like cuts up some cheese for it, and he's always like whenever you go to that counter, he is literally always asking for cheese, right? He's like, where's the cheese, mate? But man, he is insistent. So my guess is that little ninja. Okay, fine. This is a very typical picture. Little ninja is not going to make it, right? And that's just like the is it coming through? That's just like the part of the judgment picture. Bit of here we go. Finally, a good picture. Yeah, man. There we go. Share. This actually gets his personality quite well. There we go. Is it coming? It's coming. There we go. Doink. Man, we've got a lot more to talk about, though. We've got Lauren Boebert. I can't believe she's getting crap for making out and being filled up in a what was it, cinema? Here we go. Share screen. There's little ninja. Yeah, and I just kind of always admired his survival ability, which was rather good. Loves drinking out the toilet. I mean, just cat loves drinking out the toilet. There you go. So Ninja, we hope you make it. But even if he does make it, right? This is like the reason he's blind is because he got syphilis when he was like a kitten, and went blind. But yeah, okay, that is him, right? That is very much a person that just comes like in, hi, I own this place, I'm cute, how you doing? So and I'm worried my daughter's going to be a bit distraught. I'm worried I'm going to be distraught. I thought they were going to put him down today. I was like, oh, I really was crying, right? I was like, I just wanted to say goodbye, right? He's got to stay over a couple of days. They're going to try. There was a thing, you could spend like $3,000 or $4,000 and take him to the cat hospital, and I'm like, look, I think that's a bad idea, right? I do think that's a bad idea on like such a small chance. If we were billionaires, I'll say yeah, go for it. But like, the vet's giving him a blood transfusion from a dog. I think that's weird. I think it's kind of kinky, but hopefully that will do the trick. But who knows? I mean, like he's always been a little bit tiny and frail, which is why I kind of liked him. I like that he was so survivable, right? So speaking of survivable, let's talk about Russell Brand. Will he? I think Russell Brand is going to come out this a-okay. But boy, anybody who can't see through this bullshittery is a moron, right? I would say a moron and moronically attached to the mainstream media, right? So let's start with the mainstream media response to this, which is ridiculous, right? I mean, it's so obviously all set up. But here, let's talk. This really irritated me when I saw it.
I might agree with him, but you can't just dismiss a 4-year investigation.
Well, more than that.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can. You people in the media are lying cunts, all of you. Yes, I can completely dismiss it. And I do completely dismiss it because really, I mean, again, we live in an age where it's virtuous for a man. I mean, a man to be wearing heels and big fake tits and twerking in the face of a 4-year-old, right? That's virtuous, right? These allegations, they're just that. They're allegations.
One of those who's accusing him, the woman who's now in her 30s, who was 16 when she says he groomed her.
Yeah.
Okay, again, if you think the 16 being the age of consent is too young, then campaign to change it. But you won't campaign to change it because all of you in the fucking media are perverts. I mean, how long ago was Philip Schofield fingering a 12-year-old, right? I don't know. And all of you were fine with that, and all of you knew about it, you lying cunts, right? All of you knew about Harvey Weinstein. I knew about Harvey fucking Weinstein, and none of you gave a shit. So now you're clutching your pearls, you lying piece of shit.
And although she doesn't accuse him of anything illegal, she does think...
Oh, fine, move on, so shut up.
...that he was profoundly immoral in the way he treated her. That's the allegation. She was saying yesterday, I think on Woman's Hour, that, and she accepted that this was the theory, but she thinks that one of the reasons he's been cultivating...
Okay, this is the most insanely stupid conspiracy theory ever. And, like, it's incredible. When mainstream media says conspiracy theories, they say it with so much sincerity, like, oh, yes, January 6th was a terrible insurrection planned by Donald Trump. Yeah. So why do you say protest peacefully and patriotically? Oh, that was code. That was code. It was just, yeah, I mean, this is the most insanely stupid conspiracy theory.
Particular following in recent years is precisely because he could see this trouble coming down the tracks at him. And he felt he needed a constituency of support.
Yeah.
Really? You think he cultivated a podcast of people to distrust the media? Really? You think we trusted you beforehand, you lying pieces of shit? Really? Because, okay, he was in the Occupy Wall Street movement. That was what, 2004? What, 13 years before Me Too? Man, that guy is smart. He started being political like 15 years before the Me Too movement came about, just so when it did come about, 10 years later, when they finally get him, then he would be protected. You fucking cockwombles. No wonder nobody watches you, you pieces of shit.
Would automatically, as your co-host did, come to his defense.
Because I think he's got 6.5 million followers on one station, hundreds of thousands on
YouTube, you geriatric cunt.
another, and they are rushing to his defense because this is all about mainstream.
We're rushing to his defense because there is no allegation. There's no criminal investigation. There is no charges. We've danced this dance before. And why might you be going after him? We're going to look at that in a minute.
Media attacking him. Look, this is an amazingly detailed 4-year...
Fuck off. These are 20-year-old allegations from a intensely corrupt media. We don't trust a word you got to say. Do you remember when you kept saying Trump was a racist because he said there were good people on both sides? In that same fucking speech, which none of you mentioned, you all say he also said, I completely condemn white supremacy, particularly the KKK. Fucking moron. And like, who do you think? They're what? The 12 little bidders watching you. That's the only people who fucking believe you, moron.
Investigation by the Sunday Times, The Times, and Channel 4 dispatches.
Yeah, left wing and right wing teaming up. We don't trust a word any of you cunts have to say. Nobody trusts you.
Really.
Like all of you people who told us that, like, if you have a penis, you can be a woman now. Really, we don't trust a word you fucking arseholes, you malicious lying cunts have to say about anything.
Very, very important.
If you want to know why so few women go to the police about rape.
Oh, they don't. It's all our fault. It's because of the right-wing media. No. Okay, well, let me ask you. How upset are you about Bill Clinton being a multiple rapist? Right? I mean, do you still revere Bill Clinton? I mean, he did rape Juanita Broderick, right? Who else did Clinton rape? Who was it? Clinton rape victims. It was Juanita Broderick. And who else is there? Leslie Millway, Paula Jones, right? Paula Jones. Yeah. Listen, it's all the same level of evidence. And frankly, Juanita Broderick has some genuine evidence, right? Her testimony is compelling. Do you give a shit about that, you political left-wing piece of shit cunt? No, you don't, do you?
And reported rapes, fewer than 1% result in convictions, and women have to wait more than 2 years for it to go.
So fuck all men, right? Just shove all men in jail then.
Go to court on average. If you want to know why so few people go forward?
You know what? I think people like this, it's always a way, right? anybody who campaigns of like, on anti-gay rights, they always end up being gay. Like every fucking time. Right? Do you remember Viz had that cartoon Baxter Basics, right? With you had this politician, what was it? Baxter, I reckon was his name. Well, I had this like family values platform, and they found him dead wearing a stocking suspenders with who had killed himself by autoerotic asphyxiation with a satsuma in his mouth. Right? Always a fucking way, mate. I don't trust you. You finger pointing cunt.
It is precisely because of this reaction to the women who are making...
No, the reaction is to you, you lying cunt. The reaction is to you.
...allegations against Russell Brand, which, in fairness, again, he vehemently denies. But it is this...
Which, in fairness, I'll just say available, but let's move on and say he's guilty as fucking sin.
...hostility, and it's not just from men, it is also from some women who just dismiss it, absolutely dismiss that.
Yeah, I dismiss anything you piece of shit in the media say. Why do you think that is? Maybe it's like you're relentless lying to us, you cunts. You absolute cunts. Margaret Thatcher chimed in, and I do agree with her almost entirely over here.
The court of law is the place where you deal with these matters. If you ever get trial by television or guilt by accusation, that day, freedom dies.
I think that's absolutely the case, right? So the conspiracy theory is, he set up his channel 15 years before Me Too to detract from any was the allegations against him. So look, this is the other conspiracy theory going around is this, that him saying things like this, or maybe this clip specifically, is why he's been targeted for destruction.
Out of respect for you and your show, I've brought some facts. Would you? If you like, they're actually...
You just get the fuck out of here. This is not the place.
I thought you'd like facts.
We love facts. I love facts.
I wouldn't have mentioned it. I'm English, and you know that politeness is our fundamental religion.
I wish they weren't the case.
But they do pertain to this issue, so may I say some of them? If they inconvenience you, I'll stop saying them. The pandemic created at least 40 new big pharma billionaires. Pharmaceutical corporations like Moderna and Pfizer made $1,000 of profit every second from the COVID-19 vaccine. More than two-thirds of Congress received campaign funding from pharmaceutical companies in the 2020 election. Pfizer chairman Albert Bourla told Time magazine in July 2020 that his company was developing a COVID vaccine for the good of humanity, not for money. And of course, Pfizer made $100 billion in profit in 2022. And may I just mention, finally, and this is also a fact, that you, the American public, funded the development of that. The German public funded the BioNTech vaccine. When it came to the profits, they took the profits. When it came to the funding, you paid for the funding. All I'm querying...
These are the things that those cunts on TV do not want you to say.
Is this.
Yes.
Is if you have an economic system in which pharmaceutical companies benefit hugely from medical emergencies, where a military-industrial complex benefits from war, where energy companies benefit from energy crises, you are going to generate states of perpetual crisis, where the interests of ordinary people separate from the interests of the elite.
I mean, I think he's 100% on the money there. I really do. 100% on target, right? 100% on target. What else do we have about this? I think we've got one more thing. Yeah, that's good. Right. So this is him, I think, explaining what's happening with him.
Alternative narratives, and not only provide the narratives, invite you to create the narratives with us. Because do you know one thing I know? I don't know what's best. I've made a lot of mistakes. I've been wrong many times, but I'm beginning to think I'm right about this. The mainstream media is not your friend.
They're not your friend. I had this conversation this morning, my Republican neighbor, right? Old school Republican. He sent me this Fox News thing, which was bullshit about Vivek Ramaswamy. What was it? Let me see if we can pull it up. Where is that? Doing, yeah. The headline is Ramaswamy telling on Pence for his copying his revolutionary ideas gets called out by ex-fact checkers. No, what happened was Pence copied one of Vivek Ramaswamy's ideas, and then he was fact checked saying, "Oh, actually, this was the idea was originated by Ronald Reagan." Right? It said it right there, and I asked him, how do you always swallow the nonsense from mainstream media? It's just beyond me. They have an agenda and they're not your friends. How many examples do you need to see? This literally happens every time, right? Literally every time. And I suggest to them learning the Jewish laws of of gossip, right? Learning, studying what is permissible to believe and what is not permissible to believe. It is a great indicator of being able to smell out the bullshit, right? 100%.
The culture is not your friend. The government is not your friend. Big business is not your friend. They are operating collegiately in unison to create a set of systems that are beneficial to them and disadvantage you. The biggest threat to their power comes from unionization and mobilization of large groups of people. They're so nervous about it. They're so aggressive about it.
We see that.
So protective about it. It makes me think that they've got an agenda.
It does, right? It makes me think that as well. But and the other thing is, it makes me also think they are constantly surveilling us to find whatever shit they can get on us to use against us. It's kind of, if you saw the recent Luther movie, Luther Fallen Sun, it's basically about a data mining operation that using all our devices to constantly surveil us. So I think that's basically what happened to Lauren Boebert. So Lauren Boebert, smoking hot member of Congress or some politician, very, very, very good, very, very, very effective. And so this video came out about her very recently. Where is it? Doink. Where, okay, again, she's getting felt up. They're making out in a dark cinema. What 16-year-old hasn't done that? But man, does she look hot. And I don't know. I just look again. We live in a world of like intense immorality and sexual impropriety, right? Again, drag. There is no such thing as a family-friendly drag show, in my opinion, right? But she looks like a great date. I want to tell you, it looks like a great date. But like they're saying, oh, this is disgusting. Again, you can't have a world with these pride parades where people are cycling fucking naked everywhere. Like you can't have a world when you have like insane nonsense like this. Okay, this is crazy. This is why I think it's the end of fucking days. How long can this go on for?
Drag queens are often targets of hate and violence.
No, they're not. Nobody had a problem with drag queens until they started waving their dicks in people's fucking faces, in children's fucking faces, until they had to involve children in their clearly adult sexuality.
But we know that they are powerful and resilient people who show us what it means to be truly authentic and expressive.
I mean, like, this is okay, right? That's okay. Like a hot chick, yeah. Again, it was unfortunate they picked her up on camera, and I think it was somewhat, somewhat. When I say somewhat, very disingenuous. I mean, what else do we have here? There's just look. Yeah, let's look at this for 1 second. This isn't obscene. This is totally normal. And the same people saying Lauren Boebert's out of line say this. But you know, it's one thing having people who are just relentlessly stupid, right? And again, it's the same people who couldn't give a damn about Bill Clinton being a multiple rapist or mad about Russell Brand, right? I press the wrong button. This makes me really annoyed. Howard and Stern, man, what a sellout! What a loser sellout! This is him talking about Lauren Boebert.
It's a disgrace to this country, not because of the video. You are 100% right. Forget the politics.
I mean, you fucking loser, Howard, mate. I used to love the Howard Stern, right? And he would be irreverent. He would like have games where he would throw objects into women's arseholes, I believe. He had a game show called It's Just Wrong where he would have a daughter behind the screen, right? And the father will be answering questions and she will be naked behind the screen. And if he lost, then the screen comes down and she's shown to be naked, right? It's called That Was Just Wrong, right? But no, that was fine. And now suddenly you're a pearl-clutching prude cunt.
She's in a titty dress. If you saw the video, she's in a titty dress. She's with some dude. Looks like she's, obviously vaping, but also looks like she might be grabbing his penis during Beetlejuice.
Oh, heaven to Betsy. Oh, again, what every 16-year-old has done in the world.
And he's playing with her
tits. Is Beetlejuice a sexy play?
It's a very erotic play, evidently.
I mean, again, Howard, mate, you sellout cunt, okay? You absolute sellout cunt. All right, what a massive disappointment you are. What wasn't a disappointment was Donald Trump being interviewed by the new What's the Press person. That was freaking hilarious, right? Because he blows her up every freaking time, right? It's amazing how they keep screwing up with this.
Look at all the lies he's told over the last couple of weeks. He said
I'm talking about Biden.
Was at the World Trade Center, and he wasn't. He said he flew airplanes, right? He didn't. He said he drove trucks, and he didn't. Everything he says is like a lie. It's terrible.
Mr. President,
even his handicap in golf, he said he's a 6. He's not a 6.
I
love that. That's my favorite one.
Stay focused on you.
Oh, I want to say I don't want to talk about the reality, anything other than you, because we got to focus on you, because we are fucked.
Okay.
For the purposes of this interview, okay? Because it's important that we hear from you about
you just did
all of this.
Well, I'd like you to, but you keep interrupting me.
Again, that I can't believe that they keep screwing up.
Indictments, 91 felony charges.
If you would say it properly, I'm facing 4 Biden indictments. He told the Justice Department to indict him, or Merrick Garland said, let's indict him.
Let me ask you this, Mr. President.
They indicted their political opponent.
I just want to
not just their opponent, the person who's way ahead right now.
Hear from you on this. I want to know what's in your head. When you go to bed at night, do you worry about going to jail?
No, I don't, really. I don't even think about it. I'm built a little differently, I guess, because I have had people come up to me and say, how do you do it, sir? How do you do it?
I have no idea how he does it.
I don't even think about it. These are corrupt people that I'm dealing with. They're destroying our country. I don't even think about it. All I think about is making the country great, making America great. Look, these are political, these are Banana Republic indictments. These are third world indictments. The President of the United States sees how we're doing. We have a movement, the likes of which has never happened in this country before. And you see it with the polls. I mean, I'm up on these people by 60 points and 59 points. I don't mean I'm at 59. I'm leading them by 59. You almost say, like, why are they campaigning? Asa Hutchinson, he's at 0. Christie's at 2. Other ones are at 1. DeSanctimonious is at 9. I just see a poll coming. I mean, I'm leading him by 60 points.
Mr. President.
And you say, why are they doing it? But here's what they did. They saw this happening. And he went to the Attorney General of the United States and he told them, indict Trump.
There's just no evidence of that, Mr. President.
Really, no, there was no evidence of Russian collusion, right? There's no evidence of that, right? Just like there's no evidence of Biden corruption. No evidence whatsoever. Really? Really? We're going to get onto some geeky stuff in a minute.
By the way,
on that day,
Nancy Pelosi, why would I tell you that? Listen, Nancy Pelosi was in charge of security. She turned down 10,000 soldiers. If she didn't turn down the soldiers, you wouldn't have had January 6th.
Did you call military or law enforcement?
Okay, why can't she just acknowledge that point? No, that was Nancy Pelosi's job.
What?
Did you call military or law enforcement at the moment the Capitol was under attack?
I'm not going to tell you anything. Let me put it this way. I behaved so well. I did such a good job. Nancy Pelosi turned down 10,000 soldiers. If she didn't do that, and now
Nancy
I understand.
Pelosi doesn't have
But it was her job, you dumb fucking cunt. Oh my God. I can't believe what intense losers all these people are. Fine, I think last clip, and then we'll start. We'll get to the chat. We'll move on. Oh, it's a couple of fun things. We'll get to the chat, and I'll look at the fun things during the chat.
Joe Biden and his radical left thugs have weaponized law enforcement to arrest their leading opponent, by a lot leading, on fake and phony charges. It's a phony deal. This is high-level election interference, and it's happening for a single reason, because I'm the one candidate that they do not want to run against. You know, they always go out, we really want to run against Trump. If they wanted to run against me, I wouldn't be in courts all over the land fighting these maniacs off.
Absolutely.
They don't want to run. And if you look at today's polls that just came out, I'm leading Biden in just about all of them, and in some cases leading him by a lot. No, they don't want to run against me, but they say, you know, very smart. They're good. They're misinformation people. Disinformation and or misinformation. A lot of people don't know the difference. There's a very little difference, but we'll say it's both. Disinformation, misinformation. They say, yeah, we want to run against Trump. We're dying to run against him. First of all, we won in 2016. Same people said, he won't be able to beat Hillary Clinton. Now they say, he won't be able to beat crooked Joe Biden.
Yeah, I don't think Biden's going to be able to beat him. I was just looking at what the latest poll is, because he's like crazily ahead of Biden now on a CNN poll, right? Hang on, I can't find it. Never mind. Not that important. Not that important. Fine, let's get to the chat. Ladies and gentlemen. Doink. Oh man, 47 minutes in. Why am I always surprised? Right? Why does that shock me? Body looking good, darling. Looking good. And clearly, Tom appreciates looking good. The new era has everything. Chicks with dicks, drag queens, smoking hot blondes, and now gilfs. Yes, that's a grandmother you'd like to fool around with, I think is the polite way of saying it. Oh my giddy aunt. Yeah, so we're going to hopefully go with the Bonnie Langford interview. We've got a bunch of stuff to go over. Thasmin interrupted. Yes, the wailing and gnashing of teeth at Thasmin. They never kissed. There was no tongues in the TARDIS. No scissoring in the TARDIS. Well, there was in quite a lot of people's fan fiction. I mean, look, for God's sake, there was a bed in the TARDIS, in the console room, in that crappy opening to, what was it, Flux? Right? It's all, oh God, it's all so stupid. Right? There's everything he did was so freaking stupid. I mean, like, I have no idea what this new era is going to be like. My feeling right now is underwhelming, frankly. Right? It feels like underwhelming and unimpressive. Like, we haven't seen anything yet, and what we've seen has been like, oh, that looks fun. That looks okay. It doesn't look like, you know, the most world-shattering stuff ever. Frankly, I'm enjoying Once and Future more than anything else right now. And also my season 20 has also shipped. It's on its way to Israel. I am very excited. Oh, man, I was annoyed. I used my PayPal credit card to pay with it, and I ran out of money in PayPal. I had to transfer some money over. And it was the Jewish New Year when they sent me a message saying, oh, your card was declined. Do you want to change cards? So I had to wait for it. So it was 2 days later. Thankfully, it shipped. I have a friend who may be getting theirs today. I hope they rip me the new version of the Five Doctors. That's what I'm looking forward to, right? That is something I'm looking forward to. But again, this new era just seems somewhat underwhelming to me. I think it'll be okay. I just don't think I don't think there's a way it can match the hype that it needs to get to. Like, I think Dare the Doctor came close, right? Honestly, Five Doctors is probably one of the best hype meeting bits of all time. I found out yesterday. I was watching Facebook, Dan's channel, that great scene, that iconic scene with the Rastan Warrior robot taking out all the Cybermen was directed by John Nathan Turner. I mean, fuck me. Wish he directed some more. That was awesome, right? Absolutely awesome. Fine, let's get to the chat. Lottie is here. First one here, bright and early. Welcome, Hoovius and Judith. Well, welcome to both of you. Matthew Burrows is here. Darren M is here. The Soul Ranger said, yes. Did you know it was Jinx's birthday? So stunning, so brave, so much penis, so female. Icky thump. Yes, I saw that BBC were putting out that. The BBC's been the promotion machine has stepped up, and I've got more bored. We're going to be talking about that first, right? Where are we up to? I just saw Rayette's been charged with nothing. Fresh out? No, same old one. Nothing new there, mate. Haley Steinfeld or Dua Lipa? Well, I think we got to investigate this. Haley Steinfeld. Now she was in what's her name? She was in Steinfeld. Am I spelling this right? Steinfeld. Hawkeye, wasn't she? She was like the new Hawkeye. Hang on, images. Full body image. Let me see. She looks a bit, I don't know. Looks a little, honestly, I can't believe I'm saying this. She looks a bit young for me. I'm like, really? I don't know. That's not, yeah, she looks like a little girlish to me. So hang on, let Haley Steinfeld, I'm just getting some pictures of her so we can, so we as a community can evaluate properly. I mean, look, she's a pretty person, don't be wrong. But yeah, I think she's the one from Hawkeye, right? So what's the other one? Who are we looking for? Dua Lipa. Never heard of her. Dua Lipa. Who? Neither. Okay? Deeply neither. Ugh. Yeah, man. I don't know. I would rather go for, what's her name? Katy Perry when she was hot. So this is Haley Steinfeld. Oh, I mean, yeah, look, the two, clearly Haley Steinfeld. Like, that? What? No. What's the name? Let's try and find out Katy Perry when she was sexy, okay? Katy Perry. Let's have a look. See if we can pull up a... okay, yeah. Okay, this is what hot looks like. It's like, you know, I have to help people out with these things. Man, she's super hot. Pull up another picture. Okay. There we go. Doink. All right, doink. I mean, honestly, I need some bit of girl power now after whoever this troglodyte is. Dua Lipa. Like, really? Who the hell is this woman? Oh, so much better. So that's hot. That's what hot looks like, right? It looks like this. It's probably AI, but I don't care. That's not AI. Yes, that's what sexy looks like. Oh, so yeah, neither. Who asked me that? Jordan Lee asked me that. Still feeling a bit rough, says Soda Engines. I think I'm suffering from some element of a cold. Thank God for paracetamol. Thank God indeed for that. You know what? We do live in some, I mean, thank God we have those things. Jonathan Cox, I think I said hello to you already, but not sure. I'll say hello again, right? Rabbi means he's a Florida man. I used to be a Florida man, right? I used to live in Miami, North Miami Beach, baby. Rabbi, your gain in your audio compression is just a smidge too low. I don't know what any of that means, right? I don't know what that means. Hang on. Let me see if I can do anything with my audio. Hello. It seems to be working. Looks like, I don't know, reduce background noise. Should we try that? Let's see if that works. Doink. Okay. Can you still hear me? This is the way. Says Darren M. Yeah, my cat's not doing good. I like him and it feels like a hit piece. Yeah, well, Russell Brand, absolutely, right? Sorry, I can't stand Brad. I see. I disagree with him strongly on a lot of his politics, but I like his liking of honesty, right? And I get see. This is why I say it's good to have people of different outlooks, right? Being honest together, right? Because we're all better for that, right? We're all better for that. These guys love the smell of their own farts. Yes, they do. Oh, I bet they open up and think it's. Oh, my fart smells so good. Do those Bill Cosby ring a bell here? It says Gareth Morgan. Yeah, listen, all the ones they protected, they want to be quiet about. Matthew Burrows says Channel 4's been a joke for years. Listen, Channel 4's been a joke pretty much since Carol Vorderman left Countdown. I never gave Brown for what he did to Andrew Sachs. However, all this seems weird. Yeah, listen, I'm not saying he's a perfect person without sin. I don't think he's saying that either, right? Yeah, and I think he did kind of apologize for that. And probably he strikes me as somebody who has genuine self-reflection and a massive ego at the same time. Says Mark Lewis about the about Andrew Sachs. What doc? He was in Sharda. Who did he play in Sharda? I can't remember. It was like the audio version. Brad like William Shatner. He's an ass, but he's an honest ass. Yes, says Gareth Moore. I agree with that completely. Right, I do agree. Agree with that completely. How much do you want to pet people? Wouldn't talk about with Jodie Whittaker. Exactly. Oh God, man! And look, the first one to jump on that bandwagon made me sick. This really is genuinely sickening. Let me pull this up. Where is it? No, it's over here. Is this the one? Oh, yeah. Stop screen. Share screen. Doink. Comic book creators react to Russell Brand. And most of these arseholes I don't know. So I could get Henry Flint, great artist. The time Al Ewing and me met Russell Brand, meet the singing ringing tree. We had to change his name, so they took the piss out of him apparently. And so okay, Gail Simone. Oh, what well-known harasser. Says the Russell Brand allegations are even grosser than expected. Yes, they're supposed to outrage you, you blithering moron. Right? As a survivor victim, says Bex Ollerton, I hate this sentiments like, I'm not surprised he was bad. I knew all along. No, you didn't. Oh, yeah, here's the one that I know says maybe one of it. Suze Kempner. What's she got to do with comics? Star of Doctor Who Doomsday, the most failed transmedia event of all fucking time. It was pretty baffling that Russell Brand went from a staunchy socialist Democrat for decades to then far right-wing conspiracy theory. Just asking questions, Bilge. But I guess the decision will all make perfect sense soon enough. She's just hateful. I mean, she really is absolutely hateful in every way, shape, and form, right? Man. Yeah, we got some few prize tweets from her. Oh, God. And she's so reveling. And he's dripping with jealousy for Russell Brand. Feel stupid now for not realizing this, to be honest. Of course. Oh, yeah, this is a conspiracy theory that he started his YouTube, his blog, YouTube channel, podcast, whatever, to deflect from this. You dumb cunt. You hateful dumb cunt, right? That's basically how the only way I can really see with you. This is like the 9/11 attack. The next day it was front page news on all the newspapers. It's almost like coordinated. No, 9/11 was something that actually happened. This didn't, right? And she's just like missing any humor whatsoever. I just went to the fridge to see if there's anything I fancied, opened it and saw a can of Diet Coke and smiled. It was like an advert. How is that funny? God, there's just nothing funny about that. Why did they report into the police? Because nothing happened. There was nothing to report. How about that? It wasn't advantageous for them. It just comes out that women have reported him to the police. Well, he hasn't been arrested. Again, has he been investigated? Like, nothing happened, and this is all 20 years old. The goalposts will continue to move. If the video evidence was provided of the worst crime he could possibly commit, they'll say it was fake. I would say it was fake because, again, mainly because disingenuous pieces of shit like you are pumping this bandwagon, right? Yeah, so he's just had his YouTube channel demonetized on allegations, and just that, right? I just unbelievable, which was unbelievable. Meanwhile, oh no, this is normal. Nothing to see here. No, Joe Biden, cuddly Uncle Joe Biden. Yes, he's got he's got 2 drug addict kids, right? Who have clearly suffered some kind of sexual abuse. Yes, he used to shower with his daughter. Yes. She talks about her sex addiction being because of her strange allegation. But this guy is totally normal. This one who says maybe we should keep an eye on multinational corporations. That's the cut we have to watch for. Oh, so disgusting. It is so freaking disgusting. Anyway, let's get back. Margaret Thatcher, I was talking with a woman who worked with the BBC Music Department. She lost her mind when I mentioned Thatcher. Know this, they are a cult, says Gareth Morgan. That is true. They are an insane cult that is losing, right? And that's really why they're becoming much more authoritarian, because they're losing, right? They're losing. Where's the planet gang asteroid we need? You missed the beginning of my show. I was like, why? Why are we still here? I had a dream about the apocalypse last night, said the OT starters. I saw Michael Sheen's Good Omen character as well. I never finished that second season, right? Got my season 23 days out, says Matthew Buzz. Good for you, sir. Can't wait for that. Can't wait for that. Naughty's Abbey, the road trip with Peter, Sarah, and Janet is a who. I'm looking forward to every. I ain't gonna pour over that set. It looks fantastic, and they've had some fantastic sets, right? I am really excited. I was watching Crowder take the new content creator re-education since I meant to see that this morning. As if YouTube wants to take away. It's as if YouTube wants to take away our freedom. It's not as if they do, right? They absolutely 100% do, right? It's completely what's going down. Fine. What shall we start with? Let's start with a bit of Doctor Who news. I think that makes sense. Basically a Doctor Who channel. Let's see. We got that one there. Actually, I got a bunch of stuff. No, I didn't mean. So annoying. Whenever I go to bleedingfool.com, it says, "Did you mean bleeding?" Was it bleeding? Bleeding fool? Bleeding cool. I said no. I want. If I typed in, if I want a bleeding fool, I would have said bleeding fool. Is this new? Yeah, a second. More Doctor Who news. Okay, where do we start? Well, let's start with this actually. Shooty has been out and about doing a bit of location filming, or rather his stunt double. And we see a new costume. He's now wearing a kilt. My question is this. Is this the only dress he's going to be wearing, or skirt he's going to be wearing during during his tenure as Doctor Who? My guess is, I think not, right? I think they're breaking us into they've got a kilt, and I said, well, a kilt's okay. Nobody's going to argue with a kilt. And then when he was skirt, they said, well, he wore a kilt, and you didn't argue. But like, another new costume. I'll see it in action. I'll see if it works, but it looks like it's going to be shite, right? It looks like it's going to be pretty bad. Here we got some video footage of that. We'll play that again because it's pretty quick. So the question is, what is this from? Is this season 15 they're filming? I doubt it, right? I really doubt it. Sodra says Susan's everywhere. That's because they put her everywhere because they want her to be everywhere, and she's just not organically that successful because she's not very talented, right? So anyway, is this from season 15? My guess is no. My guess is this is pickups for the Christmas special. Actually, it looks kind of like what Millie Gibson was wearing, doesn't it? I can't remember. What was she wearing? A tartan skirt or a kilt? I can't remember. Right? I can't remember. But so we had that. We've also had another Tingle teaser trailer, which again, these things just annoying the crap out of me now. Right? Oh, we got to get to the Space 99 thing as well before I forget. But yeah, we had because these things show you nothing. They're irritating, and there's all this stuff you got to decode from it. So apparently that says in binary code, Unicode over here, that there's a trailer dropping on Saturday There'll be the 23rd of September at 6:13. Interestingly, 6:13 is a very, very cabalistically powerful number. I don't think that's in any way connected. But again, these things just kind of bore the crap out of me. They really do. But let's see what they have to say about these things. Hang on. Where are we going to start? We'll start over here. Doink. Share screen. Let's see what Bleeding Core had to say about this. Doctor Who, the Subway Network goes live. Watch this space. Doctor Who Instagram account has opened up the Subwave Network broadcast channel. But for what? Watch this space and find out. Again, I'm over the cryptic promotion. Just promote the fucking show already. Right? Just promote it. Like, we should have seen a clip of Shooting Gatwa as Doctor Who by now, right? We really should. I mean, like, I don't understand why we haven't. It's just, you know why? Because I think there's too many levels of management going on. I think that's throttling the show, right? I really do. I think there's just too many levels of management, which is probably why they can only make 8 episodes a year rather than 13, which they used to be able to make. This November, the BBC, Disney Plus, and showrunner Rusty Davies will celebrate the 6th anniversary of Doctor Who in a very big way. Yeah, I mean, if I'm still awake by then, right? We're talking about a 3-episode special event starring David Tennant, the 14th Doctor, Catherine Tate, Donna Noble, Shooting Gatwa, our 15th Doctor, and more. Up until now, we've been treated to a mix of casting news, mainly about chicks with dicks, right? It's mainly been, oh, look, stunning and brave, a chick with a dick. How stunning, how brave. Chicks with dicks. We love a bit of chicks. I mean, like, how many chicks with dicks can anybody have? I mean, we just had this. We just had this the other day because it was Jinx Monsoon's birthday, and like, yay, more cross-dressing because that's what Doctor Who's all about now. A bit of tranny fun. Here, 1 second. Yeah, the more I see of this, the less interested I am, right? I'm really bored of seeing men dressed as women, right? And I believe Jinx Monsoon identifies as male, so I don't think it's a way. If she identifies as being female, I'm sorry, right? I'm sorry. It's an honest mistake, but like, and I'm sure Jinx is a very, very talented entertainer. Don't get me wrong. But, like, I don't want my Doctor Who stars talking about losing a condom up somebody's ass during a random sex, right? I don't want that. Call me an, old fuddy-duddy, right? For me, it never really bothered me not knowing Marcus Scarman's sexuality. I couldn't care less if he sucked a dick, right? Or he liked a bit of poontang, or both, right? It doesn't bother me. It didn't impact on my enjoyment of Pyramids of fucking Mars. Having to now between a mix of casting news, hashtag Who Spy images, and teaser for a possible trailer drop this weekend. More on that in a second. But earlier today, the long-running sci-fi series rolled out something very interesting with a name that fans of Stolen Earth and Penelope Wilson's former Prime Minister Harriet Jones will appreciate. I wonder if they should have said she was connected to Jo Jones. I wonder that. I mean, I really wonder if there's any family connection. I really should have done that. On the show's Instagram account, you can join the Subwave Network broadcast channel, and you can see below. It's legit. It confirms your membership, and we're getting a feeling we might be getting some in-universe action going on. I know, but Christ, on the bike, can we just like get any like kind of action that you don't have to like fathom out on? Now here's a look at the new glitch from the Saturday that appeared to have brought us 10-ton clue that the trailer of some kind of extension preview could hit. The time has come, it says in Unicode. Saturday, 23rd of September. Who's their time? I guess David Tennant and Catherine Tate. Here's a look at a clip from that, folks, at TARDIS. We looked at it already. Joining Ted Tate is Neil Patrick Harris as the Big Bab, the toy maker / toy maker, Yasmin Finney as Rose, chicks with dick, a gay guy and a chick with dick, because, no one's straight anymore, especially not in Big Finish. Like, I can't remember the last time there was a straight relationship. It's always gay women. Always gay women. Also, Ruth Madeley, Shirley Ann Bingham, Vernon Cribbins. Okay, one name I'm interested in. Set to posthumously reprising as well as Wilfred Mott. Fans of the comics can expect to see Beat the Meat. Boy, is that excitement worn off. Voiced by Miriam Margulis, well-known cunt Miriam Margulis, and the Race Warriors play a major part, or they're at least in one scene. As if all this wasn't enough, Shooty Gatler is expected to debut the 15th Doctor. Still don't think he's the 15th Doctor. 3 episodes written by Rusty Davies, blah, 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 Rachel Talali. I don't think no, this is all old stuff, right? This is all old stuff. So one thing I think these specials will do is erase the Jodie Whittaker era, right? That's why I think they're being very gushing to the Jodie Whittaker era, because Doctor Who, Rusty Davies on Starbeast, not erasing Jodie Whittaker and more. They're going to erase Jodie Whittaker. I just think that Rusty Davies hated the Chibnall run for good reason, because it was utter bollocks, right? Utter bollocks. Yeah, the bottom line. And I think it destroyed the cohesiveness of the show, right? The internal cohesiveness, right? It just makes little to no sense, right? Philip Bogart's here. How you doing, sir? Thank you for joining us. Matthew Barrett said, "Problem is, I no longer care about the new series." You're right. That's exactly where I am. For God's sake, that's exactly where I am. Even the 6 are beginning to leave a bad taste in my mouth. Yeah, look, I can't disagree with you, mate. I love Miriam Margolyes. She's hilarious when she swears. She's just so anti everything that I think is good, right? She's just like so pro everything I think is evil. So and I think I just think she's an embarrassment to me as a Jew. I mean, like, oh God, why are they always like she's not as embarrassing as Harvey Weinstein, right? But she's up there. Fine. So after some big casting news yesterday, we have more clue. What was the big casting news yesterday? This was on Friday. I can't even remember who it is. With David Tennant, the 14th day, blah, 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 Shooty Gatler, Rusty Davies has shared some personal insights into what he's seen so far. He talked about literally the first 30 seconds, maybe less, and took the piss out of Jodie fans for saying that he's going to erase her era, because he knows he's going to erase her era, right? They're talking about Sheffield snub. Yeah, listen. The Sheffield thing actually could have worked. So much of the Jodie era could have worked if they had any talent and ability whatsoever, right? But they didn't. And talent and ability basically means an ability to work, which they just don't. So later from Shona, Rusty Davies shared out to the 1st of August, it's finally getting a chance to see the first completed episode of the Starbeast. God, I'm tired of reading articles that the FX are cheap these days, cheap and fast. They're expensive and endless. Okay, whatever. And even this will be the 50th time he screened it. Rusty Davies noted that he's still got to sit and watch it as a fan. From there, Rusty Davies began dropping thoughts, clues, and teasers about what to expect, beginning with the opening. Now, I think the opening is going to be akin to the opening of Rose and akin to the opening of here, let's pull that up. Where is it? Let's go over here. I'm just going waiting for the drive to wake up. Come on, you can do it. There you go, doink. Where is it? Doctor Who, the TARDIS. So is it? Let's look at. Was it New Earth or Christmas? I think New Earth. I think that started the same way. No, although I did like the start of New Earth. I think maybe it was Christmas Invasion, maybe. Hang on, we'll do. Series 9. Rose. I know this one starts off this way. Really? Ow. Let me get through the titles. So I think we're going to get a very similar opening, right? And it's going to land on London rather than Sheffield. Post full of highlights. Expected to kick things off. We look at Murray Gold's music. Rusty Davies addressing the rumblings that he might retcon the Jodie Whittaker Chris Chibnall era. Did not with it. Might retcon what Jodie Whittaker and Chris Chibnall did during their run. And said, OMG, the TARDIS and the Jodie exterior. She's not been erased. Fuck off. Okay. The reason they're keeping the Jodie exterior, TARDIS exterior, in my opinion, is because the normie couldn't care less. They won't connect that to Jodie Whittaker. You kept her piece of shit console room. People might remember it, and they would run screaming, right? Absolutely run screaming. I don't know, like, we should have seen this new console room they keep telling us about, right? We should have seen something, but we've just seen chicks with dicks. I mean, literally, that's all it's been. Oh my god, she's not been erased, and yet by not erasing her, are we erasing the argument that she's been erased, and therefore this is an act of erasure? Is it? They're erasing Jodie Whittaker era, right? They're retconning it away. From there, Rusty Davis notes, the music changed. I thought it was going to be this, and now it's turned into that. I had no warning. This leads into conversation about the wind in the scene. I thought it was blowing through David Tennant's hair that leads to nostalgia over Tennant's hair in the 50th anniversary. So again, this is just a whole article saying, no, she's not being erased, by saying, no, she's actually being erased, right? It's actually being erased. And we've had these teasers going, again, this is just annoying me and boring me. Tell me something or don't tell me something, right? That's the bottom bloody line. Here, we'll look at this a bit closer, and then we'll read what it has to say about it. Zoom in. Share screen. So again, Tuesday to Thursday at 9:30 a.m. Looks like some kind of beam thing controller. I mean, although here, this looks like the set which we assumed was like the top of the helipad thing. The Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. helicarrier thing that we saw in the John Sim one. I can't remember what end of time. I don't know. Fine, but okay, let's read the article about it, which I'm again bored to tears by. Doing the news is aimed at alienating everyone. Well, there you go. They're glad they're unifying us. They're Gareth Morgan. The updates happening at BBC, Disney Plus, and Showrunner Steve Davis. Upcoming blah 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 blah. Same introduction, right? With Michael McIntyre's The Will returning to BBC One, as well as iPlayer. Is this player? I guess it means iPlayer. Beginning Saturday, September 23rd. Fans can look forward to seeing Rusty Davies appear as a Doctor Who expert on a popular game show. That as for that Who Spy image, I guess this is it, which clearly looks like a computer screen at a unit facility, and there's something going on Tuesday to Thursday at 9:30 a.m. I'm just saying, this looks reasonably dull. I'm not excited by this. I don't go, oh, look at this. I'm bored by it, right? I am bored by it. To say what's being shown on the screen looks pretty ominous will be an understatement. It looks like a laser cannon thing. I mean, that's really what it looks like. I don't know what to tell you, mate. Or are we getting swerved? Okay. There's a look at, and here's a look back at the BBC One glitch that appears to have brought us a 10-ton clue. Okay, telling us where it is. Is that the whole story? Yeah, okay, fine. Look at it. Everything else is just like stock. That's how little there is there, right? That's how genuinely tiny little there is there. More interesting is this picture, I think, over here. That Wendy Pabry and Fraser Hines have been had a lovely day recording with this lady. Let me close these windows. So that would be, I guess, the season 6 Blu-ray, right? Let's have a quick look. Doctor Who episode guide. Man, I'm all over the place. Hang on, we'll go for Second Doctor. So yeah, season 6. So when did Pabry joined it? Not Tomb of the Cybermen, over here. No, it will be Wheel in Space, right? Which they may be reconstructing. So Dominators they have, Mind Robber they have, Invasions they got the Cosgrove Hall animations, Crotons they have, Seeds of Death they have, Space Pirates they don't. So maybe they'll do some kind of reconstruction for Space Pirates. I hear it's reasonably shit, and War Games. So yeah, it makes sense that they're working on this Blu-ray. Do you reckon they're gonna do a reconstruction of Space Pirates? I mean, it seems to be there's a lot more methods that you can reconstruct the Space Pirates with, right? Do a Space Pirates have Doctor Who Space Pirates Kelly Snaps? Is that the one that doesn't have any, or maybe they do? Okay. That does look like a telly snap. Do they have telly snaps? Fine, so there's a loose cannon. I know, it just seems to be that that Celestial Toy Maker one was the way to go. Let's have a look at this. Oh, so they do. 1 second, let's pull this up. Well, this is just from episode 2, apparently. Hang on. Yeah, episode 2 already exists. I've got too many things open. Hang on. Share screen. Standard editions of the Blu-rays, I think they're about 2 years behind. Yeah, I would go for the extra money. So this is episode 2 already exists, right? That's the only one I have. So this must be fake telly snaps. But it looks like, again, that looks like an Ice Warrior helmet. It looks like there are easier ways, right, to do these reconstructions than there used to be. Plus, we have AI, so who knows? Who knows what they're going to be working on? Let's go back over here. Doink. Yeah, so I mean, that does seem like they're getting ready to release season 3. But Mark Lewis, it's the exact same thing happened to me. Watch Dan, that's the Facebook's video on the 50th last week. Got me excited to rewatch 50th again. Yeah, actually it did, right? I'm 100% with you. I can't wait to watch 5 Doctors though. I'm really psyched for that. Fine, share screen. Doink. So we got that going on. What else should we look? There's a couple of things. I'm not sure which. I got several places reporting this. Can we go with the Radio Times? Radio Times talking about Thasmin, or should we go with CBR? Because CBR is probably going to go into it in more detail and cry a bit more. Let's do CBR, right? Doctor Who's Chris Gemmell broke fans' hearts on purpose, he confirmed. No, he didn't. He just didn't know what fucking doing and made it up as he went and was a useless hack. That's why he's teaching now rather than writing. Chris Gemmell, the previous Doctor Who showrunner who took a shit on Doctor Who and drove it into the ground, explains why Jodie Whittaker and Dr. Mandit Gill never shared an on-screen kiss because you're a pussy that couldn't commit. You're trying to have your cake and eat it, essentially. Doctor Who might be diving head first into a new era this November, but no one has forgotten Jodie Whittaker's time. We've all forgotten. Literally everyone. See, this is why we want CBR. We've all forgotten it, and we're trying to forget it. Like, people are literally trying to give themselves lobotomies with bricks rather than remember it. Specifically, the unrealized love story between her companion and Mandip Gill's Yasmin Khan, former showrunner Christian, was just given his reasons behind leaving their romantic relationship somewhat unfinished on the show. Because you left everything unfinished on the show because you were fired halfway through your plan. Whittaker spent 5 years in the titular role, 3, and had a variety of companions across her seasons. But Gill was there from the beginning until the very end. Chibnall, who none of this was planned, was at the Doctor Who wheel at the time, attempting to show a rather tragic same-sex relationship between a Doctor and a companion. What you mean, like they did with Ninth Doctor and Rose, right? And the 10th Doctor and Rose. But now you have to do it same-sex because, you know, you're vacuous, empty vassals for whatever Twitter tells you to do. But it never really truly came to fruition or culminated in saying more than cryptic conversation and awkward hugs. Yes, it's because Chris Chibnall is a fucking loser who can't even deliver on the bullshit he's trying to deliver on. Yes, we know that. The show's fan base, no, most of us hated it. Specifically, the LGBTQ plus part. No, gay people hated it too, okay? Hope to see the Doctor and Yaz kids on screen. Do they want to see a bit of tongue action? Maybe they want to see Yaz twerk for the Doctor. I mean, I'm sure they would have been into that before they parted their ways, and yet it never came to be. The Who Corner to Corner podcast, and it's 4 hours long of an interview. I would rather shove a fist up my ass, really, than go through that. I can't do it to myself, ladies and gentlemen. I've seen every episode of Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who more than once. It's an experience I wouldn't recommend for anyone. Chibnall explained why he opted out of that defining moment between the characters, because he's a pussy loser. The former Doctor Who showrunner, and also it was probably stopped by the BBC. The former Doctor Who, although would they? I don't know. Doctor Who showrunner admitted there were some discussions in the writers' room about the Doctor and Yaz locking lips, but ultimately decided against it because he believed that theirs was an unrequited love story. So unrequited, so much love. We just have a bed in the TARDIS. In the console room for no reason, certainly not scissoring in the TARDIS, or maybe a little bit. He thought that the characters never reached that point in the relationship. I mean, they don't have a relationship. Would be more heartbreaking. No, nobody cared, and we're glad it's over. However, Chibnall did acknowledge that he might have made a different decision if he had a chance to redo. What? Now he's seen that everybody took a shit on him. He's like, oh, maybe I would have done that differently. Yes, of course you would have done. You would have done everything differently. You would have been a crushing failure had you done everything differently. But you were a crushing failure because you are a crushing failure. Despite the fact that viewers never got to see the Doctor and Yaz admit their feelings for one another, well, they kind of did. A more passionate and human-like manner. Chibnall stood his ground regarding the reasons behind the and the censorship wasn't one of them. Oh no. I wouldn't be censored at all. He elaborated. It wasn't like that. There wasn't a sense of, oh, they're not allowed to kiss. Oh, they're not going to kiss. It was like dramatically, emotionally, slightly more wrenching. If they don't, oh, God, just everything you say is wrong. The Doctor Who showrunner also felt that they wouldn't be able to do the final scene on top of the TARDIS if there had been a kiss. They could have kissed there. Thank God they didn't. Because that scene had always sort of the kiss, really. That the thing, because it's unconsummated, the pain and joy, and if they hand kiss, I think, I don't know, it changes it slightly. Yeah, what? It destroys Doctor Who slightly more. No one's interested in seeing a gay tranny doctor, mate. No one's interested in seeing lesbo doctors in space. Right? No, really, they're not. I mean, some, genuinely ill people might be, but they're really, really not. But it wasn't any sort of conscious decision. You didn't make any conscious decisions. You just got floated around on the winds, on the currents of Twitter, basically. And let me tell you, if Twitter told you it was a good thing to round up Jews and put them in camps to kill them, you would have had the doctor advocate for that. That's how fucking brainless you are, Chris fucking Chibnall. Right? And Jordan goes, oh, so kind, so brave, get the Jews in the gas chamber. I can totally see that happening. It was a really delicate kind of pressure because it could have happened, and who said it didn't happen at some point? But it wasn't any sort of conscious decision not to have anything. Well, you should have been a conscious fucking decision that was going to break your heart. Nobody's heart was broken, right? No one's heart was broken. They just got mad at you for not giving them what they wanted. It's the unspoken feelings that they've never for each other. They didn't have any feelings. That was actually the point. As much as they declared, there's also depths in that final stage. There's no depth whatsoever. It is bollocks, darling. It is bollocks. Much better than that. Much better than that. Thus far has been Big Finish doing Once and Future. We do have a new trailer. Let's have a look. Hang on, getting a little Wizzy Will. Wizzy Will. Okay, let's go. Doink. I go over here. Let's have a look at this new trailer.
Once upon a Gallifrey.
From Big Finish Productions, Doctor Who, Once and Future, Time Lord Immemorial.
What have you done to my console room?
This is my console room. You're trespassing. You're from an alternate universe.
So this is basically the Christopher Eccleston, David Warner crossover, right? By the way, Paul Towson's complaining about it being 2 years. Look, mate, this is what I do. Hang on. I get the expensive editions because I don't want to wait. Because I am a ridiculous fanboy pussy, right? I am absolutely a ridiculous fanboy pussy, and I couldn't wait 2 years for season 20. I feel the same about season 22. I freaking love that box set, but here's what I do. And I'm a few behind. I actually got to make ones for, what was it, season 8, season 3, 8, and 22, right? Ones that I all adore. But here, 1 second. Doink. I then take them out of the packaging, right? And I make my own. If anybody wants these labels, they're more than welcome here. 1 second. Doink. There you go. So yeah, I make, and it's so much easier now. Photoshop has like all these AI tools, right? Here's another one. So yeah, get rid of the freaking logo. Oh, worth it. Just get rid of that awful logo. All right. There you go. So yeah, if anybody wants them, let me know. I'll just email you the files. Anyway, as I said, back to Once and Future, which so far I found quite entertaining.
Or rather, you are.
We were friends a long time ago.
So I think that's a character I absolutely hate, the Lumiere, right? That is a super saccharine, good version of the Master who's female.
I've changed a lot since then.
What was that? Degeneration.
You said degenerating is like a sort of reverse regeneration.
Yeah. Well done, Liv. I mean, what you all that female penis you enjoy has made you a bit stupid, has it? This is why I left the 8th Doctor range, because they insisted on having Liv Schenker have a relationship with Tanya, a stunning and brave woman with a penis. Like, okay, I get that's your religion. That one's physical appearance, one's physical reality doesn't define who they are. But that's a weirdo religion, mate. That is a weirdo religion. Anyway, that's why I done it specifically because of that. But although somebody told me, and they said it somewhere in Doctor Who magazine, I haven't found it yet, that they say it wasn't the War Doctor that gets hit with a degenerative weapon. It was actually the 8th Doctor. I guess they've got rid of Jonathan Carey as the 8th as the War Doctor, which is a shame. I still don't know if I'm buying his final set or not, right? I still don't know. The first 4 were very good, right? The last one was a little bit stunning and brave women with big guns.
Sand. It's pouring through the walls.
Silicants. They look like an army.
The sands of time are
are running out. And they're starting to march.
I say again, this series has been very good in that it's just like a great little hodgepodge of member bearers all mixed together, and so far they've all worked to varying degrees. I mean, the best one, I think David Tennant one was excellent, right? And also the Sylvester McCoy one, also excellent.
Time itself is unraveling.
They're gaining on us. Talk about quicksand.
Right.
It's unraveling, so's our patience.
Here goes.
Wait for me.
Oh my, it can't be.
It is. It's the Hall of the Time Lord Immemorial.
The Doctor. Always the Doctor.
Big Finish for the love of stories.
I'm the Lumiad. Would you mind terribly giving me a hand to save the multiverse?
She's such a shit character. She's not quite as shit as the meddling nun, who is that's the female version of the meddling monk. But okay, how stupid were they? They cast Gemma Wheeland as the meddling nun. Why not cast a comedian? That's something that Suze could actually maybe have done, although probably not. She's not a comedian. She's just a hate-filled harrigan, right? Absolute hate-filled harrigan. Talking about the logos, why didn't they use the Count Classic logos during the Chibnall years? And Chibnall forbade the use of anything other than the Jodie logo, right? So that's why they never used it, right? That's why they never used it. What's this? Chips needs George Costanza to George Costanza everything. Do the opposite of everything he did to make things work. You are so correct, right? I love that. There's a Seinfeld once. He decides to wear only velvet for some unknown reason, and he sees an attractive woman in the cafe they go to, and he's about to lie and tell her he's this high-powered thing, and then he goes, "Hi, my name's George. I'm unemployed and I live with my parents." And she goes, "Really?" So I think that's basically the news roundup. Did we cover everything? I think we covered everything. I mean, covered more than I'm interested in. Let me have a quick look, see if there's anything new going on. Yeah, like man, I am more about Thasmin. Christmas specials, film in Cardiff. Yeah, we've been over that. Fine. Yeah. Nothing new going on. Where is it? But yeah, before we move on to the next thing, which I think is kind of fun, let's look at a couple of weird things which I just kind of enjoy, right? I like weird things that I enjoy. Whereas, this is something we got to see. Something I'm really genuinely excited about. This documentary coming out looks freaking fantastic.
This is Nick Tate. I'm super excited to be part of the new documentary, The Eagle Has Landed. An exclusive look starts now.
50 years ago, an icon was born. The Eagle transporter is one of the greatest sci-fi spacecraft ever conceived.
I have to say, I very much agree with this, right? I very much agree with this. They're not doing bad for their goal, right? I have to say, and all the Eagle animation, as I've found to be excellent.
To this day, the design provokes an intense devotion among countless fans around the world.
Because it's so real, right? It is so incredibly real.
The question is, why? I'm writer-director Jeffrey Morris. I've been enamored with the Eagle since I first saw it in the TV series Space 1999 back in 1975. As a child who followed the Apollo program, the Eagle felt like a direct descendant of NASA's lunar module. Those transformative...
I mean, really, it's one of the greatest pieces of design in science fiction.
Moon missions left an indelible impact on a generation, as did the Eagle in Space 1999. Over the years, I've discovered that I'm just one of millions of fans who has an affection for the Eagle.
I mean, that is great green screen work.
And a nostalgia for a future we never achieved. So I'm shooting a feature documentary about the origins of this beloved ship, while also exploring its ongoing cultural impact. And I'm inviting you to join me. I'll be speaking with the Eagle's designer, visual effects wizard Brian Johnson. I'll also chat with Nick Tate, the actor who played legendary pilot Captain Alan Carter. It's going to be an epic journey as I travel around the...
I understand why they don't get the surviving people in space 1990. Oh, December 13th. I'm about 6 days out. In the Big Finish audios.
Globe to speak with eagle aficionados and luminaries from the worlds of science and science fiction. As for myself, the visionary world building in Space 1999 blew my mind. It ultimately inspired me to become a filmmaker and production designer. I'm the creator of hard sci-fi projects such as the forthcoming deep space adventure Persephone.
I mean, that looks really good. Dude, you like eagles? I'm going to check out your upcoming adventure.
The apocalyptic underwater thriller Oceanus, and the universe-hopping techno-fantasy Parallel Man. Now I'm bringing all of my experience and passion to the creation of this documentary. The good news is we've already begun production. We self-financed a shoot in Louisville, Kentucky at Wonderfest, where I spoke with lifelong Eagle fans from around the country.
I mean, it's just such a good design. It really is. It's up there with the Enterprise and the Liberator. It's just fantastic.
They shared passionate stories about the iconic vessel and the aspects that make it so memorable.
By the way, one of the things I always loved, right, in Space 1999, I'm going to run this back for a second. The bits where they would like superimpose what's going on inside the windows of the Eagle. Freaking love that.
The aspects that make it so memorable. Then I traveled to Colorado, where I interviewed Kevin J. Anderson, the best-selling author of books set in the Dune, Star Wars, and X-Files universes. He also happens to be a huge fan of Space 1999.
Honestly, that would be a license I'd love Big Finish to get, the Kevin Anderson Dune stuff, right? Or, if they just did like an audio adaptation Dune, but do all 6 or 7 books, I guess. Was it 8 books? Because, you had the guy, you had this guy, was it Miles Tegg, I think, comes in the later books, who was exactly like Duke Leto Atreides. So you could get the same actor in this. I just think that would be a really great audio series.
Recently, Kevin and I co-authored the novelization of my film Persephone. We had a blast discussing our mutual love of the Eagle and what it represents. Yet, there's still plenty left to do. I have to hire production crews at locations around the world. I also need to create visual effects and music. And of course, it all has to be edited together at a level that will rival any
that looks beautiful.
Award-winning documentary. Now I'm asking for your assistance in completing the voyage.
My assistancy means money.
Check out our Kickstarter. There are tons of great rewards and even a couple of awesome stretch goals. A future began 50 years ago, and its time is now. Become a supporter of the...
All right, Matthew Burrows, love the first series of Space 99, hated the second series. Second series actually has some episodes with some merit, surprisingly enough. I kind of like Maya as well. She was kind of hot, but God bless on that one. It's not as bad as you remember, because I about a year or so I went back and rewatched a bunch of episodes, and I was pleasantly surprised with what I saw.
Eagle has landed.
So I just put the link into the comments. If you're watching this on a video, I'll put it into the video notes. Oh, so it launched 6 days ago. That's kind of clever. Yeah, so let's have a quick look at their Kickstarter. Yeah, wrong one. Share screen. So it's doing good. It's got 500,000 goal. It's up to 76,000 already. That's pretty darn good. To be able to watch it, how much is it? What is it? You get make a pledge. I think it's this one. $25. You receive exclusive access to the digital download of it. Yeah, that's all I'm really interested in. Fine. $50 you get the soundtrack and score. I can live without it. $50 you get a Blu-ray UHD. No, I'm fine. I'm fine with the $25 one, right? Contributor credit. Live stream Q&A with Nick Tate for $350. That's expensive. All IPs Q&A for $350. I have no idea. Tell your story. Eagle Cont package Eagle kit. Isn't that like $30 max? I don't know. Anyway, look, go check him out. Back the project. This looks fun. This looks good. And I do love a bit of Space 99. Nice touch with dates, says Lonnie. I do agree with you. Fine. I was actually trying to get to some more fun stuff. What do I have that's fun? Check this out. This is a promo from the movie Psycho from the 60s, I guess.
Admitted into the theater after the start of each performance of the picture. We say no one, and we mean no one. Not even the manager's brother, the President of the United States, or the Queen of England. God bless her.
This is just great promotion, right? And they had the promotion for Psycho was off the charts great. Russell, you need to be watching that, right? None of your cryptic trying to work things out, which I'm just sick of. I'm really genuinely sick of it. What else is there? 1 second. Or something else I saw that was fun. This is fun. I don't really understand it, but I think it's fun.
Sailing across the mighty rivers, in a row to the beat drums.
I have no clue what that is. Why are you clapping? Let's watch that again.
Sailing across the mighty rivers, in a row to the beat drum.
Weird times, baby. Weird times. We live in weird times. Fine. With that, let's get over to this. Highway to Mel and back. Listen, there's a lot of puns. There's a lot of fun. Rusty Davis too busy with his mouth. Yes, he is. I don't know what Shooter's too busy with. Highway to Mel, right? Look, this is one thing I'm excited about. I like Bonnie Langford, right? Bonnie Langford has a wonderful energy. She was a shit character. She was redeemed on Big Finish, but she was such a shit character. She had no idea what Doctor Who was or what was going on. She just knew she was going to belt it out and give it her best. And when she did that, interviewed by Benjamin Cook. Look, Benjamin Cook, many people, including myself, think he's a bit of a cockwomble, right? For good reasons, right? But, however, he's also a very good interviewer. So I'm not going to deprive myself of an interview because it's done by a cockwomble, right? Just the way I am, baby. Hop on, Cowboy. This is going to be nuts. Melanie B is back, back on the road, revving up for more pedal to metal, high-stakes adventures with her Time Lord pal, the Doctor. Bonnie Langford tell Benjamin Cook why no one's going to slow her down. Again, I just really like her energy, right? Genuinely, it's she's been around all my life as well and kind of got older with me. I like a lot about Bonnie Langford. What you ask yourself is the greatest photograph ever taken. You're drawing a blank. You pull up a phone and Google greatest photo ever taken. Okay, here we go. That's the Earth rising over the lunar horizon, captured by astronaut William Anders during the Apollo 8 missions in 1968. Well, I don't know where they're going with this. A powerful, ethereal image highlighting the beauty and just get on with it. But what's wrong? Google's wrong. How can Google be wrong? Well, because it's anything about politics, maybe. Now you're panicking. Construction workers. Sorry about no again. Wrong city. What the hell? Okay, well, fine. The greatest photo was taken on Cardiff afternoon, city centre. This photo should be on the curriculum. This photo of Bonnie Langford on a Vespa. Yeah, look, it's fun, and I do like her smile, right? Man, I like Shooter's smile as well. If you could just stop being such a fucking narcissist and talk about being seen, that would be great, Shooty. That would be fan-fucking-tastic. Just stop. You're seen. We all fucking see you. Really, you're gay? Nobody's shocked. Why? Because we've all seen you. You have to imagine this. Bonnie Langford, national treasure, international icon, and one of the most talented leads Doctor Who ever had. Totally wasted. During a time was yes, I agree with all this. Revving a bright orange Vesta, a bright orange blazer, riding an even brighter orange Vespa, and howling with laughter. Yeah, all this is good, right? And sat in the back, one arm round is Bonnie's waist, soon to be Doctor Who. Shooty Gatwa is wearing black boots, leather jacket, and a white t-shirt and jeans. a Tom of Finland twist on the 21st century Time Lord. I'm so bored with his lack of costume as well, right? I just, it's a dumb idea, and from what I see, it's not working whatsoever. But I'll wait and see. And I'm pretty sure he's going to be in a dress at some point, or going to be in some cross-dressing kind of thing going on at some point. Because Sheldon investor Bonnie Langford's looking happier than anyone has ever been. Okay, whatever. It's time, funny old business time, to meet Bonnie Langford. I would never say when I spent those 2 summers doing the show, never in a million years would I said, will I be talking about it almost 40 years later? Well, again, you had no idea where you were or what you were doing. I mean, it's a shame Andrew Cartmel didn't work out how to write it until you left, right? It is a shame, but honestly, I like Ace better. Ace 7th Doctor combo was so hip, was so cutting edge. So even 40 years later, she marvels. We're chatting at the makeup truck back at Wall Studios, Doctor Who's HQ, and Bonnie Langford de-rigs at the end of a long day on the orange Vespa. I don't know what that means. I'm thrilled, she says, to be able to bring Mel to this new generation. See, that's the thing. Bonnie Langford is just always thrilled about everything, right? She's a genuinely thrilled person. I'm thrilled, to be part of something that's so exciting. I'm thrilled. I'm absolutely thrilled. I just wish I was excited still, right? I really do. Bonnie's return as Mel, companion to Colin Baker's 6th Doctor, 7 McCoy's 7th Doctor in 87, was announced in June. Mel Come Back began the BBC press release. Mel Come Back. That sounds like a Rusty Davies line, right? And honestly, this was one of the high spots of the year. In terms of, I think this was probably the high spot of the year from the current production team, right? I mean, everybody loved that new Sonic, but I didn't really. It was kind of retrograde and boring, I felt, but okay. I think Mr. Cat with Sonic Screwdriver will be in his chest, so Rusty Davies hasn't used to get his shirt off. I don't think he needs much of an excuse. Welcome back, Shivlight. This isn't just a cameo, it's a big starring role. Well, yeah, I figured that he would do the same thing as he did with Sarah Jane. I'm surprised that it's not doing it with Sophie Aldred, who was really great as Ace in Power of the Doctor, right? Like, really, really balled it in that piece of shit script. And she was good pairing her up with Bradley. Was it Bradley Walsh? Is it? I can't remember. Graham, right? There's great lines that I'm Ace, says Ace, and Graham's like, I bet you are, darling. I bet she is. In many respects, it's a relief. Bonnie Langford, I am happy you to provide relief to the nation. Bonnie says, reflecting on the announcement, because I don't have to lie or be frugal with the truth anymore. And I'm very excited about coming back. So I wanted to tell everybody, but I thought, oh God, I wonder what the reaction is going to be. We were all thrilled, right? Again, that's what the news wasteland has been like. That Mel coming back was thrilling. I don't know. If people say lovely things, I'll take it. I'll take it. Well, we are saying lovely things. And if they don't, whatever. We're all happy about it. People will always have opinions. They're allowed to do that. That's fine. Even when we did Power of the Doctor, I saw some of them. Well, you're in a piece of shit, darling. What can you do? Last October, the first time since 87 or 93, but let's not talk, count children needs to mention the time. Mel made a brief return to TV in a blinking and miss it cameo. She's done a ton of Big Finish, right? And some of them very, very good. So that was very last minute. I only did a tiny weeny, just one scene, but it was nice to be part of that. I saw some of the stuff. The fan reaction to the companion support group scene, and people were saying, I cried when the companion... Well, again, Chibnall can't bring it with the power of writing. Therefore, he was very smart to bring it with lots of member bearers, right? We like the member bearers. We're all sitting around, and I thought, my God, if only they knew what's coming. If only we knew. The invitation to play Mel again on TV with RTD2 era completely came out of the blue. Well, we were shocked as well, darling. Did she take them much persuading? Well, no, because it's Russell. I mean, that's fair. It's because it was. It's the way it was. Because it was a way to maybe sort of correct some of the stigma around Mel. Again, I mean, with Big Finish, you really did that. I mean, the one I always point to are the Fathers of Vulcan. Big Finish, Bonnie Langford. There's a couple of very, very, very good releases. Oldest first, because they're the cheapest ones. Father of Vulcan, excellent. Yeah, all these ones are excellent. Father of Vulcan, The One Doctor, Bang Bang a Boom, Flip Flop, and He Jested Scars. All of those are worth a pop. Juggernauts is kind of fun too. And I would just go, these ones, especially Fathers of Vulcan, really good story. She never did get an introductory story. We never saw Mel's first adventure. Didn't we do that on Big Finish? I can't remember. The way 1986 seasons spanning 6 Doctors try to time, she kind of popped. Yeah, I know it wasn't very good. She was very much in the fray. Help! A monster! Listen, you fighting that teeny tiny floating thing in Paradise Towers in the pond, in the pool, was not good news. It just didn't work, right? Did not work at all. I hate to be the one to tell you. Can I put up that clip? Hang on. What episode would that be in? Which episode? Paradise Towers. There's only 3 to choose from. I'm going to go for episode 2. Let's say episode 2. Like, I think it's worth reminding ourselves how deeply shit it was, right? And it was deeply, deeply shit. Open the wrong folder. Where is it? Doctor Who. 7th Doctor. Paradise Towers. It's 4 parts. Let's say episode 3. Oh no, that was when she's about to be killed at the end of that one. It was, the design for that was just so awful. No, okay, so let's try episode 4. Doink. Oh, there we go. Look at this thing. Was that after the attack or before the attack? Oh yeah, hit. And Pex was horribly miscast. But like, I bet the water was freezing, and God, she's giving it all her, giving her all her. I mean, like, I wish that was Perry. What can I tell you?
You really ought to come and join me, Pex. It'll do you the world of good. There's nothing to be frightened of.
Yeah, you've literally nothing to be frightened of. Again, giving it her all. Giving it her all. God bless her. Fine. Life moves on. So let's perhaps give her a bit more to do. It's great to have something to contribute and be a part of the adventure. She pauses a smile and says, "I get to drive a Vespa. It never used to be like this." Well, again, it's just because Eric Saywood was having I think probably some kind of massive emotional midlife crisis breakdown. And then Andrew Cartmel didn't know what he was doing until you left. So what about the Vespa? Later on, Shooty and Russell will repost the world's greatest photos on Instagram. Don't mind me just popping out to save the world with Bonnie Langford. To Vespa Mania. Right. By the way, John Nathan's turn away of always being included in the picture was to have his finger pointing at whoever it was, and that's how he constantly got himself in the picture. God bless him. We didn't stop laughing all day. Well, I hope it's any good. Wonderful, joyous laughter. I'm glad you had a good time. Okay, I just hope it's good. Well, she said, was it? Wonderful Jones. Had you done Vespa before? Did she, and be honest, drive this one like at all? Hey, I drove my little Vespa, she insists, then leans in. It's just I was being towed by a truck at a time. She burst into a fruity chuckle. No, again, she strikes me as a fruity chuckler, right? Bonnie Langford has another confession. She's practiced driving and sitting on a Vespa a week beforehand. I just said to them, can I try? Because I don't want to look like a complete idiot, especially with shooting on my back. That sounds fair. What was the name of the movie? Roy Schneider. The one with the helicopter, right? They turned it into a TV show with Jan Michael Vincent. Oh, how's it? Roy Schneider. Is that the right guy? No. Not Troy. Roy. Not Troy. I don't even know who you are. No, not Troy. Roy. Here we go. That bloke. Helicopter. Blue Thunder. Thank you. Right. So when they went filming Blue Thunder, he was in a helicopter. He was terrified of flying. And they got the Russians back. And it was like, the whole time they had to reshoot the whole thing. Can I do it about Wells? It reminds me of what happened when we filmed in Wells before, 150 million years ago. And Sylvester McCoy was on the motorbike. She remembered Delta and the Bannermen shot down the road in the Vale of Glamorgan in the summer of '87. Every time I went near the bike, it just stalled. Every single time, I had a complete and utter aversion to Sylvester. But I mean, I guess it worked out better when they did not Cat Flap. What's it called again? Survival. Oh, thank you. Isn't it just sweet? It's brilliant. It connects with the classic series. It's special. It's really clever. You know it's layered. And of course, Russell writes sensitively the beautiful storytelling. I just hope it's like about Doctor Who and not about chicks with dicks, which it seems to be. If there's a way of bringing something back that adds to what's something already a glorious show, and if that something is me, I'm overjoyed. Well, I'm happy. It's an absolute privilege. I guess it is, really. Yep. Come back. Doing. If you don't know classic Mel so well, let Doctor Who magazine bring up to speed. Mel's wonderful. She's smart, funny, fearless, and kind. Well, again, not really. She was like a two-note character, if that. She's never cruel or cowardly. To put it simply, Mel is a hero and just so boring. Again, much better in the books and the audios. But she also saved the stricken star. Okay, blah, 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 blah. She's met Einstein. So he said, I read Russell's script and thought, oh, how glorious. Well, that's what Russell said about the scripts. It's all glorious, isn't it? It's just really personally, I'm just really personally grateful and delighted and lucky to be able to revisit something that I didn't necessarily think I did very well before. I don't think it was you. I just think lack of direction and understanding of what was going on or what the show was. And I thought, oh God, I was really awful back then. I tried too hard. That was actually, I think, your saving grace, that you did try so hard, right? And that's why I got a lot of respect for Bonnie Langford. To be clear, Bonnie is wrong. Every mid-80s episode she's in is better for having her in. I agree, even though a lot of them are very bad. She's also played Mel with heart, verve, and style. She formed with a pair of doctors two of the warmest, most watchable TARDIS teams. Yeah, I just wish they had better stories. I love Silver, I love Colin. I think Mel's a sweet character. She's got integrity. She's always very earnest, too earnest, I would say. I try very hard to do everything absolutely right. Again, that bled through to her performance. 100%. I agree, right? That bled through the terrible scripts that she had. It's nice to be able to revisit, but make it a little bit more natural because, to be honest, there wasn't much else to Mel back in the 80s. That is true. She describes Mel as scintillating, fascinating, and irritating. The red-headed computer program. I mean, honestly, a great what's it? Personification of Mel is through this. This is on my channel every Saturday night. I'm putting out a new chapter of an AI Colin Baker reading Millennial Rights. Freaking awesome. Great Mel book, right? It is a freaking awesome Mel book. Where are we up to? It is fair to say Mel's original character art written by 1983 John Nathan is a little, or let's say, light on detail. It describes it as scintillating, fascinating, irritating. Well, you match that. Screams well and runs down corridors with Elan, and yet no, that's about it. She was a computer program from Peace Pottage. I was told I was a computer program, remembers Bonnie, but she never went anywhere near the TARDIS console or anything remotely that looked like a computer. Well, the closest she got to was in Trial of the Time Lord when she found out the Valiar's evil plan was to make a megabyte modem. That did not age well, right? A megabyte modem or a giant factory chimney. You decide. Now we all have megabyte modems in our bloody phones. Most of us have them in our watches too. Most of us have them in our fridges. Why did I just run around like some girlie going, man, well, that's what you told her. That was your script. And you just did it with so much heart. You know, when you give somebody more to, they can rise to the challenge. So on the Watchful Eye of Rusty Davies, modern era, Mel has transcended. She swapped the TARDIS exercise bike for a bright orange roadworthy one. Gone on the bracing glasses of carrot juice and screaming well in have the come color coordinated scooter power suit combo befitting a 2020s tech savvy career woman. Power suits that say I can identify as a megabyte modem in 20 paces, but I no longer have to because I'm riding a Vespa. Power suits keep your carrot juice and give it. Just shut up. like Benjamin Cook's just getting annoying now. I want to hear from her. Well, she knows what a computer is now. Well, thank God for that. Says Body laughing. She certainly doesn't deal with carrot juice or fitness. Because I think it's so irritating. So irritating. She doesn't bounce around so much. Again, she's older. Maybe she's found a little bit of centering in her life. Maybe hanging around with Savlon Glitz did the trade. Do you reckon they were fucking each other? I think they were. I think Mel and Savlon Glitz got it on, right? I think he was her bit of rough, her space bit of rough. Bring back Savlon Glitz, this time played by Andy Serkis. I think they'll go well with Mel. Where are we up to? So yes, she's come to terms with an awful lot, as people would say, done a lot of work on herself. Well, yeah, again, she was like a two-dimensional character. And has Bonnie Langford changed since the 1980s? Oh, replies Bonnie. Well, she's an absolute diva and an old bag. Really terrible. Well, yes. Hopefully she's meddled a lot, and she would, and she knows you don't have to be perfect all the time. I was busy trying to be perfect, but again, it's kind of nice, right? Okay, that was young Bonnie Langford of Violet Elizabeth going to scream until I'm sick, and I can. Man, again, I just had this vision of Bonnie Langford in my head as being super not sexy. I guess because she came right after Nicola Bryant, which was spank mag material for me. Like at my young, impressionable age. Again, I kind of like the milfy thing going on with Bonnie Langford right now. Now 19 and taking on the companion mantle. We'll meet Ruby Sunday in this year's special. For the companion's assistant, whatever they're called now, I love that they've been given so much more wealth, depth of character. Well, I guess the Doctor's been given more wealth and depth of character as well. Yeah, that was the I think great the great adding of depth here. Let me find this one clip. It was from, which one was it? Partners in Crime. Well, I think Partners in Crime. Hang on, let's have a look. Where the Doctor's analysed something and he's in the TARDIS on his own. right? And he's talking to someone. He's like talking to his companion, then he realizes there's nobody there. 10th Doctor. Do you reckon Partners in Crime or Christmas Invasion? It was not Smith and Jones. Or maybe it's Smith and Jones. I'm going to go for Partners in Crime. Let's see if I can find that scene. Hang on. Where is it? Man, do you remember those like specially... Red, do you remember those specially shot Fireside trailers, by the way? They were fantastic. Where is it? Oh, here. This is it. This is it. And there's just this wonderful scene where they pull out. Yeah, and you just... specifically for... Right. And you just see how lonely he is. Right? This is, again, this was brilliant, right? And this is the brilliance that we all hope for the turn of Rusty Davies.
Seems to be a bioflip digital stitch specifically for...
Brilliant. I mean, like, nothing explains why he needs a companion more than that. The loneliness, right? I mean, again, absolutely brilliant. Absolutely brilliant. Yeah, this is why we're very hopeful about Rusty Davies. Right? Maybe it will be good. But if I spent 2 years running around saying, "But Doctor," that is true. It was Bonnie, a different era. Well, I've always been blown away with Nicola Bryant's interview on this. Was it the season 22 Blu-ray? When she talks about one time in 3 of going into the BBC, somebody would always feel up her ass, right, on the way in. And she'll kind of like look at them and kind of thank them. Weird. It's just so weird. There was a simplicity about it, innocence and naivety. It was just very simple, low-budget storytelling. I think, there's a lot to be said for simple, low-budget storytelling, right? I think a lot of the reason why this new era is somewhat bogged down is there's just too much management, right? It really feels that way. People expect more now. They're getting more. Back then, it needed that revamp. My God, it needed a new life. It got it since you left, darling. It needed a fresher approach. It needed a bigger budget. Well, again, I think seasons 25 and 26 disprove that. It needed all those things. And look, it's got it. It's got people running it now who love it. Well, again, I think Jonathan Turner loved it too. And I think Andrew Carmel grew to love it. We have understanding that passion for the show, and it absolutely conveys to the scripts. Man, I hope it's good, right? Oh God, this is actually make me optimistic. Hopefully the screen conveys the scripts, and hopefully the screen. And long may it rain. Again, well, if it's good, it will. If it focuses on representation, it won't. The viewing public is over that, right? We're done with that. I went in today, she whispered. It's very impressive. Talking about the new Taurus Shooters Stardust. Oh, I love it. The 80s one is still cool, right? Are you kidding? Bonnie Langford as a paper plates on the wall. I remember that. It lit, it was literally a coat hook, or we had a hat stand. That was a hat stand and an exercise bike when I first arrived. Great, she deadpans. It was one of those. It was one of those horrible ones that you bent down and up in. Poor old Colin. Yeah, that's true. So there's no exercise in the Shooting Star. Says no. Mr. Gatwa doesn't need one. He's gorgeous, mind you. Well, he is a good-looking man. Neither did Colin. Adds body diplomatically. He's gorgeous too. Well said, darling. Good save. Blimey, this goes on for a bit. Fine. At the end of Mel's 20th century tele-adventures, Dragonfire, she married off. No, she didn't wasn't married off to him. She went off with him. I still think they were fucking. Don't get me wrong, but I don't think they got married, right? I think they were fucking until she dropped him off as fast as he bloody could when she tried to get him on an exercise bike. But maybe, I don't know. Okay, I think Mel and Sabalon Glitz had complementary kinks, right? I can see Mel being a dom and Sabalon being a sub, right? I could totally see him being into that, right? Being wearing some Martian leather or some like going to some draconian sex hotel, right? Yes, with lots of chains. So I can totally see that going on. Or maybe she would be the sub. I mean, like, you know, she did like being chained up a lot and screaming a lot. I don't know. I don't know. Okay, they don't actually get hit, so there's barely much of a flicker of a romance on screen. Mel simply decides it's time she was going. One of the greatest leaving scenes, though, that dialogue written by Sylvester McCoy on the back of a cigarette packet was freaking perfect, right? That was finally when you started seeing his doctor come out, right? It was like the dying moments of season 24. By the time you got to season 25, freaking awesome, right? Awesome, awesome, mate. Absolutely. And where was I? Doink. Time she was going, blah, blah, blah. And Nosferatu 2. How'd you back on us? What happened to Sabalon Glitz? Tease Rusty Davis on Instagram. And what will she say when she meets the doctor again? Sees the doctor again. He's not telling, nor is Bonnie. Right. She felt she had to stop traveling the universe and actually literally get back down to earth and face things that she's been running away from. Well, that's interesting. Again, that's the kind of layering of character that I expect from Rusty Davis and the reason I'm optimistic for it, right? I avoided it for a long, long time, she says, because A, the job was done. It's over. You move on. Well, after even Doctor Who, she tried to distance of it. The job is done. You moved on. There have been. You move on, don't you? There's been there, done that. Bought the T-shirt. She literally has for 2024 rap party. She wore a T-shirt with her own name on it as it appeared in the Doctor Who titles. That's cool. Okay, I think that is cool, right? I definitely think that yeah. Again. That's the kind of Bonnie Langford call that I do like, right? That she would do that. Where was I? Where was I? I didn't really understand the program, to be honest. The title, and B, I say I don't think I particularly thought I'd done the best job ever. I think it was fine. I didn't really understand the program. That's true, right? That is 100% true. She didn't really understand the program, and well, through no point around, she was a normie. There she goes, Bonnie Langford. That is funny. I didn't really understand before I was in it. I never really watched it because I was either terrified or hiding behind us overall busy working, or a normie who didn't watch Doctor Who at the time. Right? It wasn't universally popular. I sort of thought it was a bit of fun. It was a bit serious when I was in it. It was all quite tense at first. It's true. 86 was a tumultuous year. Behind the scenes, producer and script editor weren't speaking. It wasn't good. The show's best writer died mid-production, and Colin Baker was, through no fault of his own, about to be fired. Yeah, and I was busy trying to be bright and bubbly, whoever she was at that point. Says Bonnie. So, and I didn't and it didn't sit right, I don't think. Well, he was, Colin Baker was screwed over, as was Bonnie, as was John Nathan Turner. But nobody said anything to me, and I felt, and I really felt in the dark. So that, I think, is a lot of the reasons why I tried too hard. Again, putting in an effort is a good thing, right? Something that you don't really see that often every day. I tried too hard, and I was trying to fix it and go, whoa, let's get everybody happy. Well, there is that. I mean, that does leak out of Delta and the Bannermen, doesn't it? And there was this underlying drama which I didn't understand at all. And yeah, I felt a bit left out. How old is she? How old was she then? Hang on. Bonnie Langford. So she was born. She's 59. Tell me the year. She was born in 64. Okay, so she was born in 64, 74, 84. So she was like 23, right, when she was in Doctor. Yeah, she seemed it. In recent years, Colin seems to have made peace with what happened to him in Doctor Who. Oh, completely, says Bonnie. Colin's an absolute darling, but at the time it was very hard, and he was terribly loyal. There was a real heart about the show that came from John Nathan Turner. Two hearts that drew you in when I joined. I was thinking, what's all this about? It's a bit over the top, but now I understand that Colin Baker was fighting for the show because he thought it was worthy of it. Yeah, it's kind of tragic. I do agree. It is kind of tragic. And he's been proven right because it's still going. And now Russell's taken to even greater heights. We hope. Just resist the urge to make it about your bloody politics. And it's okay to have politics. Like, I didn't mind him taking the piss out of Tony Blair, with massive weapons of destruction. But, everybody in entertainment has lost their fucking minds, right? They all think Trump is Satan, and we all had the best economy of our lives and world peace. I mean, I don't know what to tell you. Rummaging through, of course, the 2024 series isn't Russell's first time running for Mel. Okay, so we talk about the mind of Hojak. That is shit. Oh God, that is shit. You can't believe how shit that is. That is such not a recommend. Yeah, it's. You can see why but it was shit beyond shit. He had a long way to go with that. It was a publicity call for Hojak, remembers Russell. Bonnie was so delightful, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, let's move back. It was really bad. She's absolutely wonderful. I can't take my eyes off. God, I love her so. Even last October, when Nathan cried, Mel's back. She's really back. I mean, look, and why? Because that life force essence, right? That burns through Bonnie Langford is why we love her, right? I remember at my grandmother's 90th birthday, right? She still had a couple of years to live at the time. I gave an impromptu speech, because each week in Judaism you read a little bit of the Old Testament and it's serialized, right? So it's always good to try and tie into that. And the bit that week is Moses is essentially dying, right? The whole book of Deuteronomy is Moses dying and giving his final address to the Jewish people. And it's basically a treatise on avoiding idolatry, which is giving power to anything other than God, right? Which is something that we do a lot today and doesn't work out well for us at all, right? But anyway, that's the whole other thing. But at the end of it, Moses sums up all his life experience and knowledge and gives one piece of advice. It's 2 words, right? And those 2 words are choose life, right? Choose life. And I think people who do that, we love. My grandmother always chose life, right? She had a very hard life. They didn't have much money. My grandfather got Alzheimer's and she just had an awful time the last few years he was alive. And she was like nearly dead when she moved to Israel to live with my sister. But then because she had such a great life in Israel, she ended up living an extra 15 years. And it was the best 15 years of her life. And she was beloved by everybody, right? My grandmother, Nana, everybody called her Nana. She was beloved by everybody because she exuded this thing of no matter what happened, she always chose life. And I think that's the same energy I get from Bonnie Langford, right? I really genuinely do. Like even this, this was nearly good Doctor Who, but it just wasn't that great. I'm so pleased, says Bonnie, that something from 30 odd years ago that I didn't have particularly great memories of, and I certainly didn't have particularly enjoy. I now really enjoy doing, and I'm thrilled to be part of again. To turn something around in your own lifetime is something that most of us don't get to do. Most of us don't get the chance to, and I'm really proud of it. I feel very lucky. Well, again, gratitude is such a great thing. right? Being grateful for what you have, and it's something that we really don't have enough in our lives, is a very good thing. So fine. So talking about the on the set filming, Shooty Rats first, then Bonnie Langford before they're whisked away, and they're both about to say hello and pose for selfies and sign off. Yeah, we saw that when they met with fans. Great, that was just lovely. Frigo fans who got wind of the filming and hot-footed it down there. I can't believe I got to meet them, says 20-year-old Billy, this student at Cardiff University. Bonnie and Shooty, they were so nice with everybody. Again, this is why I want the new era to be great, right? I want all the noise I hear about identity just to die away. And these, I think these people genuinely have great, effervescent personalities. And I hope that's what spills out onto the screen. I mean, honestly, I would love to love this new era. And this is really getting me kind of excited, right? It really is getting me kind of excited. People went home ecstatic. A lot to recover from. I was shaking like a leaf. As photos of the impromptu meet and greet spill onto the internet, one of Billy's pics catches Doctor Magazine's eyes. It's Shooty surrounded by fans wearing a leather jacket now, but still looking absolutely cool. Yes, he looks very cool, right? He does look very cool. And tucked under arm is a 1995 issue of Doctor Who magazine with Bonnie Langford and Sylvester McCoy on the cover. I remember. Wait, do they have a picture of that? There you go. Yeah, I got that at the time. Again, I mean, look, they do just. Bonnie Langford does, like, she bubbly, effervescently exude life, right? She's like champagne with the bubbles of life coming out. The Doctor Who sign it, but he took the wrong one by mistake, confesses Kaylee's boyfriend, the guy. Me and Kay are currently trying to collect all the old Doctor Who magazines. Well, I got them right behind me, darling. You have to take them from my cold, dead hands. Mel is Kay's favorite companion. Okay, this is weird. 70 years after Bonnie left Doctor Who, why'd she love Mel so much? Whatever challenges she's up against, however huge, how bizarre, Mel always overcomes them. Well, again, I think you're talking more about Bonnie Langford than Mel, right? Honestly, I do. She's literally on blah, 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 blah. A great thing about this... Okay, why are we not talking about Bonnie Langford anymore? Fine, people like her, right? People like her. No, it's funny. When I did Doctor Who all those years ago, I didn't have the same connection to it I do now in any way, shape, or form. I really didn't get it. Reflects Bonnie. Now I get it. To be connected to something this beloved and this is an honor. It's a privilege, and I think right. Let's embrace it. It took a long time to come back to Doctor Who, but I'm glad I did. Well, you did come back through Big Finish as well. You know. In all fairness, right? In all fairness. I just wanted to season 4 trailers. Yeah. Before I go, I wanted to pull up these like mini trailers from season 4. Which is this the one? Or was it season 3? These like, oh yeah, this is the one. Yeah, let me just. No, they were like ones. Oh, this is like. Oh, here they are. Because, people have been lamenting the lack of promotion, right? Just getting these little bits and pieces of promotion. And why can't there be something like this that doesn't give anything away, but gives us something to get excited about, right? I think this is really a great example. Let's see, doink. Yeah, share screen. Video file.
There are things waiting in the darkness. Creatures of metal, fire, and blood. But he's out there, burning through time, facing 1,000 dangers across the stars.
It's freaking awesome, right? And it gives away no spoilers whatsoever, right? It's freaking awesome.
And never giving up. He looks like a man For he's a legend, and his name is the Doctor. He'll come back to save us, and this time, I'm gonna be ready. Then, just like that, we'll be gone.
Brand new Doctor Who,
Oh.
next Saturday at 6:20 on BBC One.
I mean, look how excited. I mean, look inside you, right? And see how excited you feel from watching that. Why can't I just don't understand? Why are they not doing things like that? Right? I really do not understand. Here, let me see if I can find. They did a few of them, didn't they? That was one. No, here. But look, we're supposed to be getting something on Saturday. Here, let's look at. And then I want to pull up the first David Tennant one. Again, gives nothing away whatsoever. And yet, is just great Doctor Who, right? Just freaking great Doctor Who.
Species in the universe has an irrational fear of the dark, but they're wrong, because it's not irrational.
We're going out. Oh my God, the stars are going out.
Rose is coming.
Okay, this one does give things away. Okay, in all fairness, so it doesn't really illustrate my point. Here, let me grab this one. And this was the mid-season trailer. There we go. Doink. This is the one I want.
I think you've seen it all. Think again.
I mean, like again, this was such great marketing, and it was so good, and we all liked it so much, right? Yeah, one second. Yeah, we grab that one next. Doink.
Outside those doors, we might see anything. We could find new worlds, terrifying monsters, impossible things. And if you come with me, nothing will ever be the same again.
Like, again, why not do this? Right? You don't have to put it inside the TARDIS. You don't need to spoil the TARDIS. You could just could be awesome. Again, okay.
Let's go. Doctor Who, coming soon to BBC One.
Oh man, there's so much optimism, right? Which I haven't been getting. Let's be fair, I haven't been getting from this new era here. So let's grab this other one. YouTube downloader online. Doink. Hang on. Doink. Here we go. Doink. There you go. Yeah. Video as okay. Doink.
You seem to be drifting, sweetheart.
I'm not drifting. I'm waiting.
What for?
The right man. I've seen him. I've met him just once, and then
Okay, this isn't specially filmed. This was from the episode.
I let him fly away. If you ever see a little blue box flying up there in the sky, you shout for me, Gramps. Oh, you just shout.
Oh man, they were such a great Doctor companion combination. Something I recommend very highly, by the way, is the Big Finish box set, Donna Noble Kidnap, which generally speaking is freaking excellent, right? Absolutely excellent. Do you have the season 1 trailer? I mean, I put it at the beginning of this, so it should be here somewhere. Hang on. I'm looking for it. Here, let's play this. I get this really relies on clips, but oh, man, the music, just the music will be good. And honestly, they should be able to use stock footage of like monsters from other stories.
Because he's still out there, somewhere. And I'll find him, Gramps. I'll find him.
Oh man! Like it's so easy to get us bloody excited. I mean, like, this is the basic point I'm making. Yeah, one more, and then I'm going to toddle off. Doink. Hang on. Did you do the season 1? I have it somewhere. No, let's look over here. I have a folder called Misk Live at 5 videos. Now I got some bizarre things in there, right? Where was this? No, not that one. Well, there's this. Excited? Do you remember that? And now I think we're going to end with the best of the trailers, right? And I really do think this is the best trailer. The reason I think it was the best of the trailers, I think it's because it's probably one of the best seasons. Doing.
My name is Amy Pond. When I was 7, I had an imaginary friend. Last night was the night before my wedding.
Okay, he is looking up her skirt. Just want to point that out.
And my imaginary friend came back.
All of time and space, everything that ever happened or ever will. Where do you want to start?
You know, you could have David Tennant doing famous speeches from Doctor Who. Do I have the right?
Anywhere you want, any time you want. One condition, it has to be amazing.
And it really was. Like, freaking every part of this season, everything was amazing.
Now it starts.
You might want to find something to hang on to. It begins!
I mean, all of this is such great trailerable moments. And I'm telling you, the best Sonic screwdriver. With bar none, the best Sonic. Spitfires in space. It doesn't get better than that. Why can't Mark Gatiss make a Dan Dare show? Even Chris Chibnall wasn't shit. Murray Gold totally at his best as well. Right? Totally at his best.
Tell me the whole plan. One day that'll work.
Okay, you had just had Spitfires in space fighting Daleks and sexy vampire girls.
One simple instruction. Don't follow me under any circumstances.
Will you follow him?
Of course. Because this is what I do. Every time, every day, every second. This. Hold tight. Because it will change your life. There's one thing you never put in a trap if you're smart, if you value your continued existence, if you have any plans about seeing tomorrow, there's one thing you never, ever put in a trap. Me.
That's what we need. We need just great Doctor Who dialogue, which I think Rusty Davies might be able to bang out a little bit. And some of that fantastic Murray Gold music. Just put some old monsters in. Put Sea Devils from the classic in. I mean, for God's sake, it doesn't matter. Just get us excited, right? That's all I'm saying. Just get us excited. And Russell, mate, Russell, so far you haven't, but please, okay, defy expectations. That's what I want to say. Defy expectation and be awesome, right? If I may quote one of your greatest, Rusty Davies' greatest bits of Doctor Who, when was it Christopher Eccleston hologram appears and says goodbye to Rose. Let's have a look at that. They're never really going to go, right? And he turns and looks at her, right? It made me cry. Well, it doesn't take much to make me cry. I am a huge softie. But I mean, because it was so good, right? It was so freaking good. And man, it was a shame Christopher Eccleston left after that first year, right? I would love to have seen him do another year. Let's look at that. Doink. Fighting Other Ways, isn't it? Yeah. Let's find that where it was after this. And I love that they use a truck to here we go. They use the truck to break into the TARDIS.
If we can open it, I can make contact.
Where is it before this? Yeah, there we go. It was right. Again, he was brilliant there. Oh.
If this message is activated, then it can only mean one thing. We must be in danger, and I mean fatal. I'm dead or about to die any second with no chance of escape.
Again, this is Ross D. Davis at an absolute peak.
And that's okay. Hope it's a good death. But I promise to look after you, and that's what I'm doing. The TARDIS is taking you home.
I won't let you.
And I bet you're fussing and moaning now. Typical. But hold on and just listen a bit more.
Oh, he got heartbreaking scene. Just brilliant.
The TARDIS can never return for me. Emergency Program 1 means I'm facing an enemy that should never get their hands on this machine. So this is what you should do. Let the TARDIS die. Just let this old box gather dust. No one can open it, no one will even notice it. Let it become a strange little thing standing on a street corner. And over the years, the world will move on and the box will be buried.
And I think we're going to like just the greatest, most heart-wrenching bit.
And if you want to remember me, then you can do one thing.
Love this.
That's all. One thing. Have a good life. Do that for me, Rose. Have a fantastic life.
Oh, just beautiful. Just beautiful. Russell, mate. Russell. You can pull it out. You can pull it out. I have every faith in you. And I look forward to seeing some great. You know, I feel kind of optimistic again. I do. I hope that optimism isn't dashed, right? I hope it isn't dashed. Who knows or dares to dream? But you know what? I just think it's good to be optimistic, right? It's a good thing. I think you live a happier life. With that, ladies and gentlemen, live a happier life without me right now because I'm going to sign off. I have gone, 2 hours, 45 minutes. That's a long show. I've been off there for a while. So I'm going to hit the end broadcast button. I'm saying good night, good luck, and may your God walk with you. And